Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're catching the VOD of this later, you're gonna be thinking, wow, Sophie came in real fast into this one. She came in real hot. She's immediately beginning the stream. Guess again, if you as chat is about to no doubt tell me, they were all waiting around for like 10 minutes, and then I tried to go live. I don't know how much of it they saw, but I like, as soon as I hit to transition over to here, dead. Streamlabs, not working, immediately dead. Okay, very strange. Anyway, now I'm diving into it. Hello, welcome, Ludo Na, Winter Lily, Maladore, Catherine, nice to have you here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Always good to have you. Artist Synth and Youth Decay, welcome to the stream. And hello, welcome to Esquilax14, Pandaman821, Small Cute Frog, that's a great name. A Regulator, I really like that. Prince Infidel, and Nixian Gaming, Hyper Doggotron, fantastic name. Okay, welcome everyone, welcome to the stream. Welcome also to Vampire Ferret, who's a first time chatter and says, I am here for first stream. Welcome to the stream. Also, hello, welcome to Shield Baden and Logos Steve. Right, I've done it, I did it. We've welcomed everyone, and the fucking stream is actually live this time. Fantastic, we love to see it. Yeah, I'm just gonna dive right into it. I'm doing a little bit of liberal slop. I will be playing some Resident Evil 4 Remake later. If you're enjoying the stream, please consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using command tip. Okay. Why did it end on my end? Asks Pandaman821. What are you, you're watching now, presumably. My Streamlabs died. My Streamlabs completely died. Clearly someone from the Atlantic snuck in and snipped my broadband cable. No, I don't know. It was very strange. I think it might have been to do with my camera. My camera was being really weird. Anyway. Don't scare me like that. Like, fucking, my stream just died. It could die again imminently. I hope not, though. Let's say not. Okay. I'm going to read from the marvelous Jess Thompson's article about what happened at Honor Oak Pub in a minute. Then we're going to discuss some really cringe coverage, as well as the general coverage that there's been, which is, well, we'll get to it. Anyway, welcome to the stream, everyone. If you enjoyed the stream, please consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or share or donate directly using command tip. Okay, let's go into it. This here, not liberal slop. A first for the liberal slop stream. We are starting with an article that is not liberal slop. I'll link it in the chat. This is by Jess Thompson, reporting for Trans Safety Network. So basically, the Honor Oak Pub in London has been a monthly site of conflict between fascists, far-right organizers, far-right conservative Christians, nationalists, etc., who are there to protest against there being a drag time story hour at the pub, and the local community who have come out from all over London and Pandaman821 has tried to send a message, but Automod has captured it, that said, anyway, I would recommend reading this if you want to know what you need to about transgender issues, and then a link, and then is this to what are you trying to link me here, bud? What is this? I can't check through a link right now that you're telling me is what I need to know about transgender issues.
You're looking forward to getting educated on transgender issues?
I'm not opening that link on my stream. Sorry, bud. Right, okay. The Honor Oak Pub, it's been the site of conflict between far-right protesters who are protesting against Drag Time Story Hour because they think that LGBT people want to groom kids because they're horrible conservative ghouls, and they need to generate an excuse to hate queer people. and local anti-fascists who come out to massively outnumber them, drive off the protesters every month. Oh my goodness. Panda Man says, Chabad is an Orthodox Jewish Hasidic dynasty. They promote Noahide laws that apply to Gentiles, and one of them is no sexual immorality. One needn't be Jewish to have a share in the world to come and be close to God. At Sophie from Mars. Wow. So so you are... I mean, who's to even say with internet trolls? But what you're claiming to be, at least, is what you're claiming to be, at least, is, I guess, Orthodox Jewish, trying to educate me on how I should do better as a Gentile. Seems to me a very strange thing. A very strange thing for a devout studier of the Talmud to want to just come to my stream and just tell me to oh wow, damn, I'm so bothered by this. Oh, clearly I should base my views on anything on this random chatter. Oh wow, how old are you, bud? Do you wanna tell us more about yourself? Oh, they're gone. Oh damn. Oh no. Well, one of my mods has banned them with reason. Get fucked. I agree, Panda Man. Get fucked. Anyway, just like trying to, like, presumably what? Trying to sow some kind of discord, like, oh no, queers shouldn't have solidarity with conservative Jews. I don't have solidarity with any conservatives. I don't have solidarity with anyone who hates my guts on the basis of me being myself. But it's not going to shake my determination to kick the shit out of anti-Semites. Piss off, you fucking loser. All right, we are talking about the Honor Oak pub. It has been the site of conflict between far-right protesters who are trying to have drag time story hour events at the pub shut down, and anti-fascist protesters who have massively outnumbered them and driven off the far right every month consistently. This month being Pride Month, the Fash thought they'd do something real special and show up early and attack the earliest arrivers on the other side, as well as trying to smash the windows of the pub. We're going to read a little bit of Jess's article reporting for Trans Safety Network, and then we're going to talk about some other coverage. Una and Luna in chat says, it's a mitzvah to not be a tremendous dickhead to people. Youth Decay says, the Talmud totally mentions non-binary gender / eunuchs, by the way, and enumerates what they need to do Judaism-wise. I am aware. I am very aware. What a bizarre little troll. Sorry, okay, I'm conscious of the VOD watchers who aren't, aware of what's going on in chat, and I don't want to spend too long on this random troll. So instead, we're going to dive into this article and get going, finally. Right. Exclusive, the truth about the far-right attack on Honor Oak by Jess O. Thompson. On Saturday morning, the far-right violently attacked members of the Lewisham community who had gathered to protect children attending a drag queen story hour event in Honor Oak pub. There we go. I was getting the name wrong over and over again, and now you can have the correct and you can have the link to the article too in chat. I'll also put it in the description of the VOD. So during the attacks, the far-right injured counter-protesters and a Trans Safety Network reporter. The anti-drag protesters also broke the window of the pub whilst attempting to throw projectiles at the counter-protesters. Police later caused further injuries to bystanders providing community first aid during an attempted arrest. A local inclusive church was also attacked, its entrance and steps smeared with feces. So, I'm going to skim through a little bit here because it's a fairly long article. It's very detailed, it's very well written. I really recommend everyone go and watch it. Prominent things here. Lance Wright was present, a former member of the groups Blood and Honor and Combat 18. Go figure, it's a British Nazi group and a European generally, although this picture was taken by German police, Nazi group. Go figure, he's a fucking Nazi. Wow. sure looks like the far right side there are fucking Nazis, and the cops protect fascists. So who keeps us safe? We keep us safe, and that's why the local community keeps on showing up to protect the Honor Oak. Some distressing scenes here. I will skim through, but basically, Arda Cable, who runs Queer Care, was attacked first by fascists and then punched in the face by a cop while trying to give first aid to someone. Here, Jess has said, later on, police were seen being very friendly with the far-right protesters, for example, having a sit-down with Nick Tenconi, who'd been actively involved in the earlier attack on the counter-protesters. There's also this about the church, which I did not know, and I think I haven't already described what I've said so far, but the Lewisham counter-protesters were not the only members of the community subjected to horrific treatment by the far right on Saturday morning. I spoke to Dorothy, an 89-year-old volunteer at the local Anglican church in Honor Oak. The church has been supportive of the local community in resisting the far right, for example, allowing the community to use the space for meetings about how to keep Lewisham safe. When Dorothy arrived to open the church for morning prayers on Saturday at 8 a.m., she found that the entire church door and the step to the entrance had been smeared with feces. Dorothy was left to confront this attack on a place precious to her and her community. Father Vivian tells me that the far right had previously targeted the church, protesting one of the local community meetings. The church has been active in seeking to provide an inclusive space for the entire Honor Oak community, with Father Vivian having previously attended the Honor Oak counter-protests to show his support for the local queer community. Turning Point UK have themselves posted in condemnation of the church. The only reasonable conclusion is that this attack was committed by the far right upon its arrival in Lewisham on Saturday morning. Turning Point UK have relied heavily on their image of defending the Christian faith. However, the reality shows that their hatred of the queer community far outweighs their supposed love of God. Then the rest of the article is covering, the next part of the article at least is covering the bigger anti-fascist crowds showing up, basically partying and having a chill time, which is what you're able to do when there are no far-right people around. Wow, what if society were like that and we could just have a chill party? We keep us safe. The events of Saturday show the escalating violence against queer people in the UK from both police and street fascists. It's important that we learn from these events and understand that we are strongest as a community when we come together to look after each other and defend ourselves. I have never been as frightened as I was reporting on Saturday morning, and I am someone who has previously survived significant violence. However, even though I was just a journalist who had travelled from halfway across the country to report, the queer community of Lewisham stood in front of me to keep me safe. I am grateful to them all, and I hope their courage inspires the queer community across the country to come together and to keep us all safe. The Metropolitan Police have been contacted for comment. So what we've got going on here, is really troubling on a few levels. Like really, really, really troubling on a few levels. And I will be encouraging some next steps here, because the main next step is sharing this article, and I'll post it into chat again, and again it will be in the VOD description, because the first level on which this is troubling, there have been fascists organizing outside the Honor Oak pub month in and month out, and that fucking sucks. Fascists shouldn't be allowed to organize anywhere, and basically, as Karl Popper points out with the paradox of intolerance, right? Society should be intolerant to the intolerant. If the police were concerned with people's safety, like the population's safety, a bunch of fucking Nazis organizing together to congregate in a public space would be a thing that they would just shut down. It wouldn't even be that hard to legislate or enforce as an obvious threat to public safety. It's troubling, a second level that they've escalated to this level of violence, hurting a bunch of people on the side of the counter-protesters. It's even more troubling that several counter-protesters were arrested. Only one of the fascists were arrested, and not for hurting anyone, just for public nuisance. I don't know if that's the official charge, but generally for making a noise and for using threatening language and so on, as far as I'm aware, which is Just pathetic. It's even more troubling that the police were there clearly taking statements from, what's he called? Jimmy Tenconi. That's his name. Nick Tenconi. Taking statements from him rather than talking to the people who are on the same side as the event that these fascist fucks were there to protest. It seems pretty obvious that, you know, if you were going to look for the victims to talk to in a situation like this, if you again were concerned with public safety, you would seek out Shield Aiden. I don't have time for this discussion right now, sorry. If you were actually concerned with public safety, you would be talking to the people who are on the same side as the event being protested there. Seems like a fairly obvious logic. I mean, it could be twisted around on us perhaps, but like, if there were like fasci events that were going on, but again, fasci events shouldn't simply be allowed on the basis of like fascists want to fucking kill everyone. That's their entire ideology. It's also troubling on the level that the Lewisham, church, a community center, was attacked in this horrible way. We don't know if the police are investigating it in any sense. But this is an attack on the entire community of Lewisham. This is not just the Honor Oak pub, but attacking the church as well. The fascists here are being absolutely fucking vile and open in their, again, like, omnicidal ideological movement. They just fucking hate everyone. They view everyone in a tolerant society as their enemy because tolerance to them is itself a degenerate trait that needs to be stamped out. So yeah, they fucking hate the community. They in no way represent despite being nationalists, they don't represent the people there. They're against the people there. All of this is fucking horrifying. And then another level entirely is that there has been no coverage. No coverage of this. Okay, this is a really fucking extreme thing that's happened. It's incredibly dark. A bunch of people have been attacked. The police have sided with the fascists. One police officer has, assaulted someone who's trying to apply first aid. And where's the media coverage of this? Well, the Daily Mail has written something claiming, well, not claiming, but there's their sneaky modus operandi, but rather covering the event by saying left-wing trans activists clash with protesters, as if, again, the implication that you should take away from this is that the left and transgenders are the ones stigmatizing others here. It's pretty fucking vile. So where is the left-wing coverage, would be the immediate question to ask. Well, I've seen nothing from, no coverage in the, supposedly left-wing papers, but then again, it's a trans issue, so why would they be covering it? Nothing in The Guardian, nothing in The Observer. It won't surprise many people to see, nothing in the BBC, but, if they were to cover it, they would probably side with the far right again, because that's been the increasing trend of the BBC for many years. But even smaller outlets, right? I would very much like to see Owen Jones talk about this. I have seen nothing so far. And the first piece of liberal slop, and I'm calling it liberal slop because, guys, you may feel differently about what your ideology is, but what you've fucking done here is liberal slop. Novara Media have covered not the event itself, not the police cooperation with the fascists, not the attack on Lewisham in general, but rather some tweets. It's some tweets is what they've taken issue with. From Turning Point UK, they've decided to write a whole article making fun of some tweets, which I would say, given the complete paucity of any kind of coverage, that this is a huge opportunity for you to write something saying, this was extremely wrong and dangerous, and more people should be organizing to oppose this. Novara have covered Turning Point UK's protests outside the Honor Oak before. They've had reporters be there even. But this month, when it's actually kicked up to the most extreme and violent level so far, nothing. Just gonna make fun of the far right's Twitter account for being silly. So they've said Turning Point UK questions inanimate object after bloodshed at demonstration. Subtitle: Why did they have a red pen? They've repeated some stuff from Trans Safety Network here, but don't seem to have interviewed Jess or other people who were actually at the event. They've just laundered some of TSN's reporting. That's good stuff.
They credit them at least.
Yeah, they credited them.
Okay, good.
So they've basically written this entire article around this tweet from Turning Point UK. So they've changed the narrative. First, they attempted to blame attendees of our event for injuring Ada Cable. Now they're blaming the police. The thing that happened was that Ada was first attacked by fascists, and then the police. Now they're blaming the police. The burning question, however, is why did Cable have a red pen in their pocket, and why did Cable decline medical treatment? And then in their picture here, they've put a circle around a pen in her pocket. Basically, they're trying to claim that the blood is not blood, but I guess was drawn on with a red pen, and that's silly. That's silly as all hell. But this is Novara's singular coverage of this, and that's silly on an altogether different level. There are people who've been at this event who are available for comment. There are people who've done worthwhile and good reporting about this, and you're talking about a tweet, and now I'm talking about a tweet because you're talking about a tweet, my guys. Come on now. Come on now. And this to me, it's just, when I'm calling this liberal slop, I know that Novara, is as far as I'm aware, people who consider themselves communists, trying to do independent journalism in the UK to provide a legitimately left-wing voice. But this just shows, the consequences of just trying to turn everything into, social media culture war, trying to, get the clicks by, dunking on people, when there's, serious fucking journalism to be done here. There's serious fucking journalism to be done here. And who was it Aaron Bastani was on that event with?
Unheard with Calvin, the fake priest.
Aaron Bastani, Unheard, Calvin. Calvin what? What's that? When was it?
You can probably find it on Aaron Bastani's Twitter from a few days ago.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Aaron Bastani Twitter. Right, let's get over there. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Aaron Bastani is someone that left-wing commentators have been increasingly frustrated with for a fucking while now. One of his recent embarrassing grandpa moments was sharing a very obvious propaganda story from someone who's what was he doing? He was filming a documentary
Car broken into and camera equipment stolen.
Yeah. But he was filming a documentary that itself was pro-cop propaganda, right? As far as I remember. Anti-black propaganda. Yeah. Really fucked stuff. And then his car had been broken into, and Aaron Bastani was sharing it, being like, "Yeah, crime is this serious issue, and it's getting worse, and we blah blah blah." Very embarrassing.
Police.
What was it he was on? I cannot remember the guy's name. Probably would have been a more dramatic reveal. I'm not trying to do a gotcha here. I'm just trying to point out the fucking... Is it Calvin Robinson?
I think so.
Yeah, there's our guy. There's our guy, Calvin Robinson.
This guy's been showing up at On a Rope.
Yeah, so this guy has been... Calvin Robinson has been showing up on the side of the far-right protesters.
The fascists.
Yeah, the side of the fascists. And, you know, here's Aaron Bastani just going to the studio to hang out, to have a little chat, to be all friendly. And it's the problem of like the fucking business model of what they're doing. It's infuriating, and it's embarrassing. Okay, to think that you're going to gain legitimacy for the left by sharing a platform, right, implies that you think that platform is giving people legitimacy. And then if you're sharing that platform with a guy who shows up with the fucking fascists, you are giving your own legitimacy, approval, right, to this motherfucker. This isn't okay, guys. And then your only coverage of the fascists attacking people, smashing windows, seriously injuring people, of the police siding with the fascists, punching a trans woman in the face while she's trying to apply first aid to someone, the fascists fucking smearing shit all over the doors of a church, right? This is your coverage. There was a tweet where they were talking about a red pen. Wow. God, come on. I'm sick of this shit, honestly. Step it the fuck up, actually. I'm not a journalist, and that's why I'm not, you know, I've done my best to share coverage here. And again, I'll put the link in the chat and the description of the VOD, because, like, please, share around Jess's coverage, because at the moment, it's like the only coverage in the British press. It's absolutely wild how little this is being touched. And
organizing on the streets, like, it's fucking disgusting.
It's wild how little it's being touched, and of course it's got, you know, the conservative media, like I say, like the Daily Mail, and we need left-wing journalists, of which I am not one, but I still encourage you to share that around. We need left-wing journalists to talk about this, and not just talk about tweets, right? Not just treat everything like a gotcha game to win at the culture war. This is, as I say, this is the problem with the way that Novara acts about everything. This is a really serious story that's really fucking scary, and they're not treating it with I don't know, journalistic integrity, one might say. Right. Phenomenological Cat says Novara are actually the ultimate posters by making a post about a post, brackets tweet, rather than the actual serious fucking event. Well, I am the ultimate poster because now I am making a post, brackets stream, about a post. But I've also shown you Jess's excellent coverage and encouraged you to share it around. Again, Jess was actually at the event. Jess is available for comment. People could go talk to them or other people who are at the event who are available for comment, and instead we're writing articles about tweets. It's going so well. It's going so well. All right. I'm not, for the record, calling Novara media liberal slop in general yet. Because I believe they could do better than this. But this here, let's just get it back on screen. This here, this is liberal slop. This is liberal slop. Turning Point UK questions inanimate object after bloodshed at demonstration. That's liberal slop, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that we're getting quite sloppy with it, Novara. Please do better than that. Thank you. I could also relate the fact that I was entirely available for comment after that Daily Mail article from Ruby Sampson, and Novara did run a piece about it, but didn't interview me about it. I'm not holding it as like a personal beef, but like, come on. there's a pattern here of just like pumping out content rather than actually engaging in journalism, and you're missing enormous opportunities to by having leftist integrity promote the left and do better. Okay, all right, okay. We're done Novara. We're going on to the Atlantic again. It's time for more of the Atlantic. I'm sure you're all so excited. The Atlantic is, after all, the most requested liberal SLOP publication, so, you know, we'll see. Last time on Liberal SLOP Stream, we had the revenge of the normal Republicans, and when I was talking about how the Atlantic would be pushing a guy who's surprisingly progressive for a guy who's surprisingly progressive for a Republican, and then a guy who's given up on leftist ideals from the Democrats. Wowee. I wouldn't say this is entirely public. Like, yeah, I wouldn't say this is like positive coverage, right? But the headline still fits in very neatly to this project. Here we have the first MAGA Democrat.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Succession predicted.
Well, it's like we've got already. So this is a piece about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And the subtitle here is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is feeding Americans' appetite for conspiracies. So,
like Tulsi Gabbard.
Like I say,
not even the first.
Like I say, you know, it's not necessarily going to be very positive coverage, but it does fit into their project of trying to establish the center, the normal Americans. And I find it very interesting that we've got the figure of the MAGA Democrat now, because I said that the thing that they would demand from a Democrat in order to meet Will Hurd in the center would be to abandon Medicare for all. But I mean, Medicare for all is already abandoned.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see the MAGA Democrat because
that's the standard.
Because I mean, firstly, that's the standard Democrat. They all love America, right? But being MAGA, it's like, are we bringing the other side into the QAnon conspiracy cult? Is that the deal here? What are we trying to achieve here? Is it just a revamping of nationalistic, chauvinistic American imperialism? Maybe all the end goal is just, hey, we're going to establish a new normal, a center. All the normal Americans can vote for America to just kick the shit out of every other country on the global stage into perpetuity while the ecology of the world collapses. All right. Imperialism now with added pronouns. Added pronouns if we're nice. Added pronouns if we're well behaved, but the pronouns can be taken back at any time. I love this picture. I've been preparing for the stream and staring at this picture like while the music was playing and stuff, and it's just like, firstly, he looks like a mannequin. Like, the way he's standing is the most unnatural possible. He's on a box. Like, what's, and then there's the tiger in front of a poster of some bamboo. And crucially here, a security camera, which appears to be watching him. I love this.
Based on the title in this picture, I'm not assuming they're trying to promote this guy at all.
Okay, well, let's have a read. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s speech is warbling, crackly, scratchy, sort of like Marge Simpson.
Wow, okay, they're really going for it.
I've YouTube searched for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because I was, as soon as I heard that, I was like, I need to hear this Marge Simpson Democrat. Good Day Caesar says this image looks AI generated. Yeah, let's look at it again. This politician does not exist.com. It's fucking amazing. Anyway. But this is the thing that I'm finding interesting. Okay, so you're saying it's not going to be. It's not going to be.
Still did that photograph themselves, right?
There you go. That's what I was about to point out. So, you're saying it's not going to be positive coverage, but this was photographed by Chris Buck for the Atlantic. They sent a photographer to get a picture for their article. That means that RFK Jr. had some degree of sign-off on them doing an article on him. And we will get more into it in a bit, but I already having gone through this earlier. Where was it? What was the... God, no, they had him talking about eating something, and that was the... For me, that was the moment, right? It's
okay.
Whenever you talk, whenever you describe in the interview article, like in the article about the interview, what they were eating, it's like, okay, this is client journalism.
And it's like
we're just trying to make him seem human. We're just trying to make him seem like he could exist in an organic context.
They don't have to like this guy very much for him to serve a purpose for them, because all he has to do for them is to prove an appetite for chauvinist politics.
Yes.
This
folder here says Ukraine. Yeah, he just has to play a role. And that's how he has a fucking gamer chair. I'm sorry. He has a fucking gamer chair. This image gets better the longer you look at it.
Great that he's literally.
The longer you look. The multiple FedEx boxes. The longer you look at this, the more rich and detailed it becomes. All right, we've got something about Da Vinci.
Da Vinci Code.
No, it looks like it's a book about Da Vinci.
Yeah.
We can't really read much of the spines here, actually. Okay.
That fucking tiger.
Isn't it ridiculous? Isn't it fucking ridiculous?
And sad little face.
Anyway, and that's how capitalism works. Everyone's just got to play a role, and then, oops, oh no, he's the president. What happened? Oh no, fuck. Shit.
They don't need to put any eggs in this basket or like him, like his politics at all, for them to leverage his presence against other Democrats to encourage them to put to instill more open chauvinism in their politics.
Yeah, 100%. I will now dive into the article. Please remember, everyone, if you're enjoying the stream, you can consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using Command Tip. We're going to learn about RFK now. Oh, wait. His voice. I wanted to hear his voice because they said it sounds like Marge Simpson.
Okay.
RFK filmed his workout ahead of election debate with Biden. Excellent. Okay.
Let's go.
Now, this is just him working out. Oh no, I support RFK now. Oh no. Say something.
That's a fit boy.
Oh no, I mean that was a fit boy. Damn. Okay, RFK tells Joe Rogan he's aware CIA could assassinate him like Uncle JFK. Awesome. Oh, there's no sound on this. Why is there no sound?
Uncle who's assassinated, and you believe the entire
Oh, it's so quiet.
part of that. What happens to you?
Hang on a sec. Did I turn down the volume here? No. Okay, I guess I'm not going to see the Joe Rogan one. There's something wrong with that clip. Here's an in-depth RFK interview.
I disagree. First of all, I have a long personal relationship.
He doesn't sound anything like Marge Simpson. Get fucked. You're just trying to make him sound cute. He doesn't sound like Marge Simpson.
A great deal of affection for President Biden over many, many years, but I do not think that that the decisions that he's made, particularly recently as president, reflect.
I absolutely love that the closed captions are all in caps. I'd like to believe that's only for him speaking.
The values that the Democratic Party or our country should be projecting around the world. I want my kids to grow up in a country like I did that they're proud of.
Grove DG says he's decaying before our eyes. That's not true. Decaying before our ears. No, that's not true. He's a fit boy. He's a very fit boy. Sundry Clowncar 295 says he sounds like Patty Bouvier. Now that's much more accurate. He's much more Patty than Marge.
He sounds like he's got an issue like my auntie did with speaking, where it gets it gets quite hard to speak and you have to kind of push through a lot.
Yeah. Which, I mean, now we've spent all this time on his voice because fucking they said it sounded like Marge Simpson's.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be derogatory towards anyone who has speaking issues at all. I was just fascinated by that
Yeah.
I hadn't heard him speak before, and they were like, he sounds like Marge Simpson. I was like, fuck! But no. His voice, he told me, is fucked up. The official medical diagnosis is spasmodic dysphonia,
Yeah, I
a
think
neurological
that's
disorder that causes involuntary spasms in the larynx. I think people who've had strokes can experience this. He didn't always sound this way. His speaking style changed when he was in his 40s. Kennedy has said he suspects an influenza vaccine might have been the catalyst. This idea is not supported by science. He was telling me about his life with one arm outstretched on the velvet sofa of his suite at the Bowery Hotel in Lower Manhattan. This is the shit I'm talking about. See, this is the shit I'm talking... And the next paragraph begins, Kennedy was finishing a plate of room service risotto. It's like... You're just... What are you trying to achieve here, guys? Can you wink? You know, can you just, like, tell us, like, what's the... Because liberal publications tried so hard to sneer and laugh at Trump, and they just gave him more and more and more and more and more coverage, and it showed how perfectly capitalist media works, right? Which is like, you're seeking the attention, because the attention means the clicks, means the money, right? And what you wind up doing is promoting the hell out of the most attention-winning guy in a fucking electoral race. It's not a good thing to do. Okay. Nonetheless, we will learn more about RFK, because I am interested. I will skip the toe sucking, though. We're just going to jump to what he's actually talking about. He told me that he's surrounded
you're
by...
not fascinated by what the room looks like?
Yeah, I want to know all about the furniture. I want to know if a bird smacked into the window. I want to know what sounds and smells were in the environment. I'd like to know very much what shoes he was wearing, what shoe size he is, what socks he likes to wear,
I'd
what
like to
material
know
he likes them to be
how
made of,
quickly he
how
eats,
how
is he
disgusting and nasty his toes are, so I can picture them in my mind and rotate them perfectly. Okay. Oh, by the way, thank you so much to... Ludonuff tipping £5 and saying, Sophie is the one Martian the establishment doesn't want you to know about. It's true. And Malcolm said, Malcolm tipped 15 pounds and said, clown union dues for this month. In Poland, there's a joke about no one ever smiling in public, but on the 17th during Pride Month, joy was all around, went with friends and loved it. Do you plan to do any further things with Alice beyond Red Planet? Actually, I should be... maybe on another podcast soon, but that's all I will say for now. Yeah, I do have plans for doing stuff with Alice Beyond Red Planet. There you go. Can I have a vape? Cool. He told me that he's surrounded by integrative medical people, naturopaths, osteopaths, healers of all sorts. A lot of them think that they can cure me, he said. Last year, Kennedy traveled to Japan. Could you possibly shut the... because children outside are playing the screaming game where you try to see who can scream the most, and it's a very fun game, and lots of the kids who live near me are really good at it, just like champions at the screaming very loudly outside my house game. I'm very glad the neighborhood kids are having fun. A lot of them think that they can cure me, he said. Last year, Kennedy traveled to Japan for surgery to try to fix his voice. I've got these doctors that have given me a formula, he said. They're not even doctors, actually, these guys. I hope the surgeon was an actual doctor. Like, seriously, Okay, anyway, I asked him what exactly he was taking. The stuff that they gave me, I don't know what it is. It's supposed to reorient your electric energy. He believes it's working. When he was 19, Kennedy jumped off a dock into shallow water, which he says left him nearly paralyzed. For decades, God, this guy's brain is so good. This rules. For decades, he could hardly turn his head. 7 years ago, at a convention of chiropractors, a healer performed 30-minute manipulation of energy, making chanting noises while holding his hands 6 inches over Kennedy's body. The next morning, his neck felt better. Wow. I don't know if they had anything to do with each other, but, it was weird, he said. Well, that's just giving us, like reason to believe that he is some kind of magic man. So thank you, The Atlantic. You're doing really well at keeping this conspiracy crank away from the Democratic nomination. I think what's going on here is they think they in classic liberal arrogant fucking self-superiority and smugness think that the liberal base is just too smart. There's no way they could be susceptible to conspiracy theories. There's no way that they'll pick a conspiracy theorist to be their nominee. But it's just like, oh boy, just sit back and watch. American politics is about to reach whole new levels of foolishness. Okay. Though he's been a member of the premier American political dynasty his whole life and a noted environmentalist for decades, most people are just now discovering the breadth and depth of Kennedy's belief system. He has promoted a theory that Wi-Fi radiation causes cancer and leaky brain, saying... We just found out why he's like this, you know. It's his leaky brain. His brain doesn't hold facts in good. Saying it opens your blood-brain barrier. What is a blood-brain barrier, you will ask? No idea. Absolutely no idea. He has suggested that antidepressants might have contributed to the rise in mass shootings. Wow. He told me he believes that Ukraine is engaged in a proxy war and that Russia's invasion, though illegal, would not have taken place if the United States, quote, didn't want it to. Awesome, 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 awesome. I love when people who are literally Kennedys, people who could not be further embedded in the American aristocracy, are like, America wanted this to happen. Bro, you're America. You are America. Oh my god. I'm taking a moment. I've gone off the article because I'm taking a moment to just remind everyone. Well, that if you're enjoying the stream, you can consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or share or donate directly using Command Tip. And if you have a Prime account, you can link it to your Twitch account, and then you can give me a Prime subscription, which is free for you, but gives me real money. That's pretty cool. But moreover, to remind people that conspiracy belief reflects intergroup social conflict. And I think it's really noteworthy that in America especially, there are a lot of medical-based conspiracy theories. The prevalence of the idea of med beds, which is a technology that supposedly super advanced alien races who visited the Earth have, and then the shadowy deep state cabal are withholding from people, even though these med beds would can just cure anyone of anything. You just put them in the med bed, zip zip, healed, right? You would think people who believe that kind of thing wouldn't support someone like this, who surely should have access to the med beds, what with being a Kennedy. But no. Rather, RFK has joined in with the medical conspiracy theories. And why? Well, he's got a history of various medical traumas, it turns out. I didn't even know, I'd heard stuff about him having this speaking issue before. I had no idea he nearly paralyzed himself when he was 19. But conspiracy theories reflect intergroup social conflict, and I don't need to go into how deep the rat fuckery of American healthcare is. It's fucking grim, right? So it's no big surprise that America specifically has so many medical-based conspiracy theories, and now my guy who should be on the inside of the conspiracies is instead promoting the conspiracy theories. Awesome. Okay. Kennedy reached a new level of notoriety in 2021 after the publication of his conspiratorial treatise, The Real Anthony Fauci. Bill Gates, Big Pharma, and the Global War on Democracy and Public Health. It has sold more than 1 million copies, according to his publisher, quote, despite censorship, boycotts from bookstores and libraries, and hit pieces against the author. The book cemented his status as one of America's foremost anti-vaxxers. It also helped lay the foundation for his Democratic presidential primary campaign against Joe Biden. Now, like, I think it's really worthwhile pointing out here that his PR guy, his publisher rather, is saying that like he's experienced hit pieces, right? If his publisher is saying that he's experienced hit pieces, this just brings us back to the propaganda model in Noam Chomsky's Manufacturing Consent. One of the crucial things that capitalist media has to worry about is access to the rich, important, powerful people, right? So here you have a real kook who's worried about there being hit pieces about him, and what's the only way they can publish an article about him once the Atlantic editor has decided that like publishing a piece about RFK Jr. would be a good thing? Well, by making it as nice as they can make it, right? So they don't want to lose access, and he's particularly paranoid about hit pieces, so check it out. It's client journalism for a weird conspiracy crank. Awesome. I love journalism. It's going so well. On the campaign trail. Thank you for the dinner. That's really nice. It got caught in my throat though. That's not your fault. That's my fault. On the campaign trail, he paints a conspiratorial picture of collusion among state, corporate, media, and pharmaceutical powers. If elected, he has said he would gut the Food and Drug Administration. Awesome. And order the Justice Department to investigate medical journals for, quote, lying to the public. His most ominous message is also his simplest. He feels his country is being taken away from him. It's a familiar theme, similar to former President Donald Trump's, but whereas Trump relies heavily on white identity politics, Kennedy is spinning up a more diverse web of supporters. Anti-vaxxers, anti-government individuals. Sorry, I just find that really funny. Like, who are anti-government individuals? Anyway, Silicon Valley magnates, free-thinking... I have more on Silicon Valley types in the next article. Free-thinking celebrities, libertarians, Trump-weary Republicans, and Democrats who believe Biden is too old and feeble for a second term. So far, Kennedy is polling in the double digits against Biden, sometimes as high as 20%. He's not going to actually get anywhere, unless unless perhaps he gets a ton of coverage from really mainstream publications. I don't want to overstate the seriousness of this. I don't know that this guy's actually getting anywhere. He may well remain just a fringe crank that it's kind of fun to poke and laugh at. But like, this is irresponsible. You shouldn't worry about access to guys like this to the point where you write articles like this one.
Well, it's like, there's a sense in which that's true, but also they have a responsibility to report on candidates in general, and they can easily decide for themselves that someone like Bernie is a crank and they don't want to give him any coverage, right? Like,
yeah.
So
they're entirely capable of like coordinating to shut out a candidate who they feel is actually dangerous. Yeah. Until, again, the most corporate and craven of them, in Bernie's case, it was Fox News, right? Like, he was literally able to do a town hall on... Am I misremembering?
He did a town hall on Fox News.
Yeah, on Fox News, because, like, they knew that he was really popular and it would get them tons of views.
It would be different.
Yeah. Put another way, Kennedy's support is real. He is tapping into something burrowed deep in the national psyche. Large numbers of Americans don't merely scoff at experts and institutions, they loathe them. Oh, God. It always, like... Liberals aren't going to invent materialism, but God love them, it's not going to stop them trying. Fucking... Analysis of conspiracy theories by liberals is always so frustrating, because rather than having a reality liberals can actually point to, they just have what experts say. Experts say this, and there's no questioning of the structures that provide knowledge from experts, right? It's like when we were reading the Jacob Stern article on the last stream, which, by the way, I've been informed by various commentators that we got various commenters that we got a ton wrong there, and I should apologize because no, not I shouldn't apologize to Jacob Stern, just to be clear. He's still a dumbass.
Apologies to the whales.
But we should take a moment to acknowledge that apparently the yachts it's a misleading term,
Right.
and a lot of them are fairly small boats
Right.
to the kind of degree of like houseboats basically,
That kind of makes
and
sense. I was wondering
it's
about
not
that.
actually like super rich people being attacked.
Yeah, like-
Nonetheless, critical support to Comrade Orca, and I hope that they organize well enough to attack mega yachts soon. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk about the national psyche, and we're gonna talk about distrust of experts, and it's just like, cool guys, people who distrust the experts here are not gonna respond to you saying they're not trusting experts enough. They should trust experts more. It's not anything that will actually remedy the issue of American conspiracism, or, as that original essay put it, the paranoid style in American politics. None of that will help, because the paranoid style in American politics comes about through there being very obvious collusion between capital and the state and the media
That kills people.
that fucking kills people every single day. And then people are paranoid because there's shit worth being paranoid about. Anyway, you need materialism in order to point to any kind of reality you can contrast conspiracy theories against. Falling down conspiratorial internet rabbit holes has become an entirely normal pastime. Study after study confirms a very real epidemic of loneliness. Scores of people are bored and depressed and searching for narratives to help explain their anxiety and isolation. Scroll through social media and count how many times you see the phrase, "burn it down." Yeah,
That's the same
Yeah.
thing.
that's the same
That's
thing as conspiracy
conspiracism.
theories. Yep. That's the same thing. That's I'm just gonna take a bite of this of my dinner, because I'm just reeling from that one. That's some sloppy liberal slop. Hey, Internet Doggo. I already covered the Novara stuff. Basically, there was a violent fascist attack at the Honor Oak pub, and left-wing journalists have barely fucking touched it. And when I say barely, I mean specifically that Novara wrote an article making fun of tweets from Turning Point UK, rather than writing an article about the extremely violent series of attacks both at the protest and in the larger Lewisham community. Okay. Sundry Clown Car 295 says, there was a recent Rebecca Watson vid responding to an op-ed about climate change is getting worse and it's the fault of experts who are so bad at talking to normal people.
Wow.
And her response was, lol, no, also get wrecked. Yeah, that's not the case. Hi, Jess. Disabled Jess in chat here covered the event properly. Seemingly the only journalist in the UK right now to have covered the event properly. They were also there at the event. So,
Pink News just dogs people, apparently.
yeah, it really sucks. So I did share the link earlier, but I will quickly go get it so I can repost it into chat. And once again, I will put it in the VOD description if you're watching the VOD later. Please share this article around. It's really important that it gets more coverage. And you know, since this is the only coverage there seems to be, it's really important this coverage gets more spread, because Jesus fucking Christ. Right, back to RFK and his incredible mind. I've just seen on the title of the tab that the title of this article has been changed. It was Inside the Mind of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and now it's the first MAGA Democrat. It's really interesting to me how much the Atlantic changes their article titles to try and get more clicks after the fact. Anyway,
A/B testing.
if you want to know how bad conspiracism is in the US, just see how much people have said the phrase "burn it down" on social media. That's the real indicator of conspiracy theories. Right, let's have a look. Linkin Park, burn it down, 2012. Linkin Park, burn it down. Okay, burn it down. This is some kind of, I don't know, this fantasy series. Florida officials have declined to file murder charges against a woman accused of shooting and killing her neighbor through a closed door, citing insufficient evidence. Twitter notes here, Suzanne Louise Lawrence, 58, was arrested Tuesday on charges of manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault. So... don't entirely... Oh, but this person has a hammer and sickle emoji in their username, so immediately proves Nat's hunch that the most of the people who you'll see saying the phrase "burn it down" are... Anyway, Linkin Park, burn it down. I'm sorry, I should clearly be going latest tweets instead of just top tweets, but this is someone promoting Cornel West with the Green Party, saying #destroy the duopoly, Cornel West 2024, Green Party den exit, burn it down. Cool. More people who are just trying to push against the absurd nature of American politics. Okay, let's look at latest burn it down. Why don't you just burn it down yourselves? This is some right-winger being aggressive to Sadiq Khan. Yeah, this is not really reflecting a ton of conspiracism. This was a bad suggestion. Just seeing how much people say burn it down. This isn't actually helping me find much conspiracism so far. So I look back over here. I'm embracing burn it down as my new mantra. Okay. That's a writer who's on strike.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another left winger. That's so strange. What else we got? What else we got? The terrifying United Nations Habit 1 plan from 1976. Listen to this. Okay, this looks like it could actually be some conspiracism.
Farms and in
Obviously,
rural
it's gonna be
areas,
some.
so-called wildlands, will be relocated to cities, now referred to as human settlements.
And the idea is that if you concentrate populations into specific areas or zones, less energy usage, less water usage, and less transportation. So people will have less reason to leave home. They'll stay in their homes. They may even work out of their homes. And so they're not going to be using their cars. They're not going to be using energy. And they're not going to be using water.
Since, as we saw earlier, the UN is not big on property rights, it should come as no surprise that the first private property to be phased out will be single-family homes, what socialists at UN headquarters consider suburban sprawl. Instead, we the people will live in apartments and condos in megacities near railroad tracks. Our super tall dwelling units will all be built to UN-specified building codes
that sounds dreadful.
authorized by ICLEI, COGS, the ADA, and a myriad of NGOs and other friends of sustainable development. While the animals run wild in continental corridors, we the humans will live in transit villages and smart cities.
Smart growth, or new urbanism, is that ideology that says that you shouldn't have more space than you actually need. So if you're a couple of people living in a 3-bedroom house, well, you don't need that extra space. So why do you have it?
There's a clear, concerted effort to make it really...
This is actually mostly just reminding me of the of a meme that I have on my phone. I've just tweeted it so I can bring it up on stream because I'm a fucking genius. What are you trying to tell me? That in a well-developed country, everyone can afford a car and gas? What I'm trying to tell you is that in a well-developed country, they won't have to. All right,
Exactly.
let's carry on with Burn It Down.
Classic.
There was our first conspiracy theory guy, and yeah, there's some classic right-wing conspiracy nonsense. Climate change is fake, and it's just a plan to concentrate the population, and the UN socialists want to blah, 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 blah. All right. Okay. Someone wrote a book called Burn It Down, so That's going to take up your SEO. Okay. That's Mountain Goats lyrics. Linkin Park, Burn It Down. Linkin Park, Burn It Down. We've cycled around on the same stuff now. Oh? The Barbie dream house has mysteriously appeared in Malibu. I'm going to move in and burn it down making waffles. Clearly, Stefan here, at Radical Stefan, is a terrifying conspiracy theorist. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. That's something that the writers of The Atlantic could probably benefit from reading. It's actually just two people saying that one after the other is the next bit. That's, yeah, okay. Yeah, not seeing a ton of conspiracism. Just not seeing a ton of conspiracism, but it sure sounds really like witty and smart and like a pithy observation to liberals to say, just count how many times you see the phrase burn it down. That's all the conspiracy theorists. Okay, incredible. Utterly incredible.
Not that there's something fundamentally wrong with the systems that are...
Yeah, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worth burning down. Not at all. Okay. Even though Kennedy remains a long-shot candidate, his presence in the 2024 race cannot be ignored. My goal is to do the right thing, and whatever God wants is going to happen, Kennedy told me. He now earnestly believes that in 12 months, he will be the Democratic nominee for president. Every individual, like every nation, has a darker side and a lighter side, Kennedy told me, and the easiest thing for a political leader to do is appeal to all those darker angles. He was talking about George Wallace, the segregationist Alabama governor, and subject of Kennedy's senior thesis at Harvard. But most populism begins with a core of idealism, then it's hijacked, he said. Because the easiest way to keep a populist movement together is by appealing, you employ all the alchemies of demagoguery, and appealing to our greed, our anger, our hatred, our fear, our xenophobia, tribal impulses. This is an incredible article that makes me want to support RFK.
Why are they calling him the MAGA Democrat? I...
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I wouldn't trust the guy.
Uh-huh.
But, this is literally directly comparing him to Trump.
Yeah, this is,
You've got normal Republicans and MAGA Democrats.
I asked him if he felt that his dad or uncle had sent him any messages encouraging him to run for president. I don't really have two-way conversations of that type, he said, and I would mistrust anything that I got from those waters because I know there's people throughout history who have heard voices. He laughed. It's hard to be the arbiter of your own sanity. It's dangerous. For everything that they're trying to sell about him being really crazy, everything that they're writing about the interview makes him sound really nice and down to earth. How odd.
Which I'm just remembering, Alex Jones is really into this guy, right?
Not sure. I guess he's anti-vax. My intention is to make authority trustworthy, he said, sounding like a shrewd politician. People don't trust authority because the trusted authorities have been lying to them. The media lies to the public. I love this. I love whenever liberal publications try and talk to conspiracy theorists, and then they have to end up publishing things like, the media lies to the public.
Can they deny it?
Anyway,
No,
we didn't finish the Will Hurd client journalism promoting the revenge of the normal Republicans, and I'm not going to finish reading the RFK one either. It's very long. But its length alone should really reinforce my point that this is client journalism, right? This is... Look at the fucking size of this. Look at this fit boy. Look at this fit boy of an article. There's no way you can convince me that authority isn't bad for me. Well, he's probably not trying to get your vote, to be honest. Guy who studied George Wallace 45 years ago, looking at America today, like, getting a lot of George Wallace from this. Yeah. Okay, we're done with RFK. I want to get through my liberal slop fairly fast today because I want to get on to playing some Resident Evil. If you're enjoying the stream, please consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using Command Tip. I'm not done looking at this picture, and I don't know if I'll ever be done looking at this picture because I've just seen this wooden duck, and then there's this little painting of sailboats.
Yeah, and it's just like propped up in the window.
And then like a bunch of envelopes. Like you can very clearly see those are envelopes specifically and not papers, right? And then like a book about energy. Maybe that's about his like electric energy levels. This has got like that's a fucking bottle of something in a Ziploc bag. Awesome. I'm so glad to see a politician who represents people like me, people with messy desks. Finally someone who stands for people like me. He'll be winning my vote. I'm going to do so much electoral fraud for Robert F. Kennedy. I'm going to mail in so many false ballots in the Democratic primary for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's also put a cardboard Starbucks sleeve around a metal cup. It looks like one of those thick metal cups that's got its own like internal insulation.
I guess it's just what he had access to.
Yeah, and then again, the gamer chair. I'm just obsessed with the gamer chair.
Crate.
Standing on a little crate, like, and there's no like, just the feng shui of this room is terrible. I mean, like, fucking, why is the desk only exactly one crate's distance apart from this like chest of drawers, which is like the drawers open out this way, but there's more fucking furniture right here.
But I'm just like, why did he let them take a picture of him on purpose to make him look so goofy? Like, what's his thinking in this?
Maybe this is the campaign strategy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna win all of the kooks and cranks.
Like, we just saw a video of him doing push-ups, like...
Yeah. Alright. Did he think it was a waist-up shot? Let's try that, hang on. Nope, that's not a good picture. That wouldn't be a good one. Maybe this? Maybe this, just with the tiger? Maybe, like, about this much of the picture? Could be good? For the future president of the United States? Honestly, like, also, if this guy were to actually win the Democratic nomination, not even, like, let alone win the presidency, but if this guy could win the nomination, that would make history. Because, like, fucking having pictures like this of a guy who seriously runs in the presidential race, that owns. That's something else entirely. Okay, next liberal slop article, let's fucking go. I'm so excited about The Atlantic. It's such a real, serious, journalistic outlet. They do such good journalism. The monk who thinks the world is ending. Ooh. Now, lots of people think the world is ending. So it should be, a worthwhile perspective that we can interrogate and talk about, and talk about maybe how his spiritual beliefs intersect with his belief that the world is ending. What that says about, maybe it's a Buddhist take on climate change or the struggles of can Buddhism fix AI?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, this article is going to be
Silicon Valley.
A little interesting. This is going to be a little of an interesting one. Huh.
This is perfect for you.
Huh. Oh. Huh. How interesting. Okay. Alright. Okay, let me get some more dinner. I'm gonna eat some more dinner first. Okay. Let's go. It's slop time. The monk paces the Zendo, forecasting the end of the world. Sorry you for all. ordained in the Zen Buddhist tradition, is speaking to the 24 residents of the monastery he founded a decade ago in Vermont's far north. Bald, slight, and incandescent with intensity, he provides a sweep of human history. 70,000 years ago, a cognitive revolution allowed Homo sapiens to communicate in story, to construct narratives, to make art, to conceive of God. 2,500 years ago, the Buddha lived, and some humans began to touch enlightenment, he says, to move beyond narrative, to break free from ignorance. 300 years ago, the scientific and industrial revolutions ushered in the beginning of the utter decimation of life on this planet. Humanity has exponentially destroyed life on the same curve as we have exponentially increased intelligence, he tells his congregants. Now, the, quote, crazy suicide wizards of Silicon Valley have ushered in another revolution. They have created artificial intelligence.
I like crazy suicide wizards as a description.
Yeah, this guy's fighting against the Silicon Valley types. He's standing up against Silicon Valley. It's really good. No. He's fighting against Silicon Valley. He's definitely against them. Trust me. We'll get to it later in the article. Human intelligence is sliding toward obsolescence. Artificial superintelligence is growing dominant, eating numbers and data, processing the world with algorithms. There is no reason to think AI will preserve humanity, as if we're really special, Farrell tells the residents, clad in dark, loose clothing, seated on zafu cushions on the wood floor. There's no reason to think we wouldn't be treated like cattle in factory farms. Humans are already destroying life on this planet. AI might soon destroy us. For a monk seeking to move us beyond narrative, Farrell tells a terrifying story. His monastery is called Maple, which stands for the Monastic Academy for the Preservation of Life on Earth. Cool, that sounds like a cult, so I googled cult Vermont Maple Buddhism, and I got concerning reports about Monastic Academy /Maple/Cedar/Oak training centers, and I got this Medium post, which is an open letter from someone who has been inside and has witnessed what they describe as... Where is it? Let me just... Sexual, spiritual, psychological, and emotional abuse. Organizational negligence and unethical conduct within the broader organization. So...
Any of that in the Atlantic article?
Just gonna get back to the Atlantic article now. Since, that just gave cult vibes from the name, and a 2-minute Google search provided that result. Cool. Love that for us. The residents there meditate on their breath and on metta, with 2 T's, not Mark Zuckerberg's company, just to be clear, or loving kindness, an emanation of joy to all creatures. They meditate in order to achieve inner clarity, and they meditate on AI and existential risk in general, life's violent, early, and unnecessary end. Does it matter what a monk in remote Vermont monastery thinks about AI? A number of important researchers think it does. Farrell provides spiritual advice to AI thinkers and hosts talks and awakening retreats for researchers and developers, including employees of OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Apple.
Yeah, that sounds like a cult. It's not like all of the people that are creating all of this like conversation around the coming apocalypse, AI apocalypse, end times of AI, judgment day of AI, are all like the people invested in that tech scene in the first place. Like, it's this
Baby, can you come closer to the mic if you're gonna... Yeah.
Like, he's clearly using it as an opportunity to make a lot of wealthy connections. Direct decisions. And, like, with Elon Musk and shit going around the... There's this brag that's like, we're the smartest guys in history, and we're gonna... There's a real risk that we are gonna be the ones to create the technology that's gonna doom us all. But as they're doing it, as they're creating different AI technologies, as they are actually like risking the future of the planet through climate change, like they are all talking about the risk and danger of AI. Like, it's promoting their own brand, it's promoting their own ego, and it's deflecting from like the real crises that are happening right now.
But,
and it's also
my love,
promoting technologies to replace workers who are unionizing in tech sectors specifically.
But my love, what is it doing in the Atlantic?
Same deal, presumably.
Well, let's have a bit more of a read, and maybe we'll come to some conclusions. The world is witnessing the emergence of an eldritch new force, some say, one humans created and are struggling to understand.
Many people are saying.
Which is bullshit, by the way. Every claim that you see from engineers who are like, I think it's alive, I think it's an intelligence that we... No, it's not. It's just not. That's... I don't have time to... There's actually a very good Someone Use video to do with AI that's worth watching. They explain it fairly well at one point, but like, no, it's not. No, they haven't created an intelligence that they don't understand. That's just more of the same bullshit hype, and once again, like, shockingly irresponsible journalism. But irresponsible journalism is not the bottom of this. AI systems simulate human intelligence. AI systems can take an input and spit out an output. Whoa. You mean like all systems? AI systems generate those outputs via an algorithm, one trained on troves of data scraped from the web. I hate how this has got like a line break between every sentence. Like, it's this like, you know, as if he's like spelling out, sorry, I don't know if it's, who's this by? Yeah. As if she's like spelling out the obvious danger of AI. And there's like the next paragraph is, AI systems create videos, poems, songs, pictures, lists, scripts, stories, essays. They play games and pass tests. They translate text. They solve impossible problems. Let's just check out the link for impossible problems, because by definition, no. No, they don't. DeepMind's protein folding AI cracks biology's biggest problem. Yeah, okay, it's not impossible then, is it? It's not like a fucking...
I mean, so do fucking calculators.
I just want to be clear here, like, when you say impossible problems in the scope of computing, there are problems it's probably impossible to solve. Like, if AI unravels Fermat's last theorem, that would be something, wouldn't it? You know, wouldn't that kind of own? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be a great demonstration of the super intelligence that's been made by human beings, but we don't understand its own intelligence? But no, this is human beings using AI as a tool to solve a complex data-based problem.
Can we just go back to calling it machine learning?
It's so frustrating. It's so goddamn frustrating. AI systems...
They've rebranded without actually having to change technologies at all.
AI systems are causing concrete problems. They are providing inaccurate information to consumers and are generating political disinformation. They aren't generating the political disinformation. People are using them to generate political disinformation. And
choosing to share it.
It doesn't... I swear to God, I'm not doing just like a guns don't kill people, people kill people thing here. Like, before... everyone was writing these absurd, pearl-clutching, panicky articles, like breathless fucking articles about how dangerous AI was. There was already a huge crisis of misinformation. People elected Donald fucking Trump, right? Like, this is not the thing here. This is not the, like... Okay. They're providing... they are being used to gin up spam and trick people into revealing sensitive personal data. Skill issue. Simply do not be tricked. They are already beginning to take people's jobs. Oh my god. Beyond that, what they can and cannot do, what they are and are not, the threat they do or do not pose, it gets hard to say. AI is revolutionary. Okay. Dangerous, sentient, capable of reasoning, janky, likely to kill millions of humans, likely to enslave millions of humans. Not a threat in and of itself. It is a person, a digital mind. Was this written by AI? Is this a ChatGPT generated fucking...
This isn't quotes from The Monk. This is actually just the writer of The Atlantic writing this.
This is just the writer of The Atlantic,
what
yes.
What the fuck?
Yes, it's utterly insane.
It's categorically not sentient.
Yeah.
It's
also, OpenAI's former top safety researcher says there's a 10 to 20% chance that the tech will take over and many or most, quote, humans dead. Now, firstly...
How do those things follow?
why why is that person actually qualified to make that claim? Because that's utterly fucking wild. Secondly, 10 to 20% chance is not, let's just check back here, likely to kill millions of humans. And then they haven't actually linked any kind of source for their likely to enslave millions of humans. It is a person, a digital mind, nothing more than a fancy spreadsheet, a new god, not a thing at all. You are insufferable. You Annie Lowry, you are an insufferable motherfucker. This is so grating, so fucking infuriating that you're saying it gets hard to say, and then just repeating a bunch of crank fucking bullshit alongside like perfectly reasonable claims like not a threat in and of itself. And treating them as equals.
This is liberal conspiracy. Like,
yes,
they just had on like
yes.
that article talking about conspiracy theories, like RFK, MAGA Democrat, whatever the fuck, and then this up there, like the normal Republican article was also promoting AI conspiracy theories, and this is like it's religious fervor. It's nonsense. Religious fervor for a political end.
We'll get that. I have my analysis of this, but yeah, I think you're on the money.
Yeah.
Cedar Rit has donated £10. Thank you so much to Cedar Rit. This bit's great. This bit you'll really enjoy. Forel is not by any means a coder who understands AI at the zeros and ones level. That sentence on its own, a coder who understands AI at the zeros and ones level is just like be 10 to 20% more of a fucking boomer, please. Like, please. In an age of digital publishing, where far more of your readership is online than ever touches a physical copy of The Atlantic, please sound like more of a tech illiterate boomer than writing a sentence. A coder who understands AI at the zeros and ones level. Fucking journalistically just bricking myself inside a wall. Because I have become obsolete and ChatGPT could do a better job of my article than me. I asked him whether he had used some of the popular new AI gadgets, such as ChatGPT and Midjourney. He tried one chatbot. I just asked it one question. Why practice? He meant, why should a person practice meditation? Did he find the answer satisfactory? Oh, not really. I don't know. I haven't found it impressive. His lack of detailed familiarity with AI hasn't changed his conclusions on the technology. When I asked whom he looks to or reads in order to understand AI, he at first deadpan answered, the Buddha. Then he clarified that he also likes the work of best-selling historian Yuval Noah Harari.
Oh, yeah, of course. Jesus Christ. Come on.
It's liberals all the way down, folks.
Fuck's sake.
And a number of prominent ethical tech folk, among them Zach Stein and Tristan Harris. Oh, fuck. Good lord. Good fucking lord. Wow. Wowee. Wow. And he is spending his life ruminating on AI's risks, which he sees as far from banal. We are watching humanist values and therefore political systems based on them, such as democracy, as well as the economic systems. They're just falling apart, he said. The ultimate authority is moving from the human to the algorithm. And it's just like, these liberals will not invent materialism, but God love them, it's not gonna stop them trying. This is my new favorite saying for the liberal slop streams, instead of Sie wissen das nicht, aber sie tun es, right? Because, like, fucking, yes, sovereignty is moving beyond the human to the absolute sovereignty of capital. The systems that liberals are trying to create are trying to automate away the dehumanizing decisions on behalf of capital, to allow them to just be like, well, the system just manages itself. We don't make any of the decisions that, like, kill millions of people a day, allowing them to die in poverty. We don't make those decisions. The algorithm makes it for us. But it's not algorithms that's the problem. It's not new technology that's the problem. It's fucking capital. Anyway. Who's ready for a sentence that'll make Forel sound normal? Who's ready for us to totally believe this monk and believe that he actually is a really normal guy with a good brain? That's right. Forel has been worried about the apocalypse since he was 4.
Right.
In one of his first memories, he is standing in the kitchen with his mother, just a little shorter than the trash can, panicking over people killing one another. I remember telling her with the expectation that somehow it would make a difference. We have to stop them. Just stop the people from killing everybody, he told me. She said yes, and then went back to chopping the vegetables. Farrell's mother worked for humanitarian non-profits and his father for conservation non-profits. The household, which attended Quaker meetings, listened to a lot of NPR.
And now he runs a cult.
And now he runs a cult. Perhaps, allegedly. Everyone, if you're enjoying the stream, please consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using command tip. He was a weird, intense kid. I am shocked. He experienced something like ego death while snow angeling in fresh Vermont powder when he was 12. Direct knowledge that I is all living things. That I am this whole planet of living things. He recalled pestering his mother's friends about how we're going to save the world, and you're not doing it, when they came over. He never recovered from seeing Terminator 2 Judgment Day as a teenager. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That seems like an accurate assessment. I asked him whether some personal experience of trauma or hardship had made him so aware of the horrors of the world. Nope.
Not really.
It says nope. It says nope in the article.
That's why his fear for the world ending is AI instead of the shit that's killing people right fucking now. That's why Elon Musk is talking about AI instead of the shit that's killing people right fucking now.
Yep.
And why he's still a billionaire.
Listen, here's the basic situation, everyone. I just need to I need to reset to this every now and then. Working conditions for human beings today are like around the planet are worse than they've been at so many points in human history. Graeber makes a good analysis of how people working inside the Imperial Core, like people working fucking pretty normal jobs who are part of the labor aristocracy even, have worse working conditions than Roman slaves. Like, shit's fucked. Right? And that's not even dealing with the imperial periphery, where, like, there is a ton of, like, literal, you could call it literal slavery. You can look at the fucking, right? The ruling class wants to tell us that technology, which is somehow because of them, they want us to believe it's them who give it to us. The miraculous technology is improving our standard of living so much. As if, firstly, everything that is publicly available because the human collective just needs it to live, right? And so these improvements have been made not for just the altruistic benefit of everyone, but because the ruling class wants a healthier working population to do more work for them. But secondly, come from humanity in general, not the ruling class, who are a bunch of greedy, cruel, stupid fucking losers. And they constantly threaten us with a backslide to some kind of worse situation if we didn't have a ruling class oppressing us. They constantly make out that if we did not have a ruling class oppressing us, we couldn't possibly govern ourselves, living conditions would be infinitely worse, right? All of the miraculous technology of the modern age would just, I guess, disappear. Thank you so much, Shieldball Space, for resubscribing. This is the basic fucking lie, right? Like, this is the basic, like, illusion that the ruling class is putting over us all the time, is that shit's really fucking good now. It's not. Shit sucks now. Shit fucking sucks so bad that if we had long enough for the working class to just, like, chat to each other with no particular worries, it would take, like, an afternoon for us to all be united in the opinion that we need to get rid of the ruling class and have communism. Like, shit is so fucking dire for the working class, and the ruling class constantly tell us that there are these imminent threats, but they can't actually focus on the imminent threat that there is, climate change, because they're causing it and continue to profit off it existing, and of things getting worse. So, Shieldball, thank you so much for paying £10 and saying paying for the stream. If you're enjoying the stream, you can consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or share or donate directly like Shieldball just did. That's so nice of you. The ruling class want us to believe that without them shit would get worse. And so this is another just like absolutely farcical performance of like the looming threats to try to distract us away from like the two real looming threats, right? One is actually looming, as in it's on the horizon, as in it's a future threat, right? It's a worsening thing. It's climate change, although it's also already happening. And the other is the horrors of the status quo. It's not a looming threat, it's just how much everything fucking sucks, right?
The fascist backlash of imperialist capitalism.
Exactly. The notion that the societies that the ruling class have forced us to perform through exploitation, right, and extraction of our surplus value, that these societies, the fucking progress being made to improve people's standards of living comes somehow from the system of exploitation. This lie of progress, right? This lie of progress that's like the more profits being made, that's the more progress being made in society, right? The myth of linear progress is the myth that if GDP go up, everyone is happier, and it's measurably unfucking true, to the point that like a country could very easily like completely unmoor from the system if it were allowed to, but it can never be fucking allowed to, again, because of the ruling class, and like turn all of, again, like the miracles of modern technology towards taking care of people, and its GDP would be utter dog shit. Like, it could well be, right? It also might very much not be, because like a lot of communist projects have been extremely like productive in that sense, but like it's not profit that makes us happier, more whole, more human. It's just profit that makes profit for rich people. That's literally it. Just divides the experience between like unthinkable luxury but utter inhuman alienation from the experience of being human, from like just getting by to like barely surviving. It's and AI is another fucking farce where it's just gonna be like, okay, the ruling class, they're coming up with their solutions to it. You should definitely take it totally seriously, because otherwise AI is going to kill us all, and the ruling class will let it happen because they're making an AI that's gonna kill us all because they decided that's the thing that needs to be done. It's utterly fucking absurd. Farrell attended Williams College.
Also, you know, when Elon Musk talks about this stuff, it's worth considering it a threat. Like, the idea is, you know, it's a power move. It's saying, hey, I've got the ability to take away, you know, replace you, take away your jobs.
But he's not talking about taking away our jobs when he's saying that. He's talking about it replacing him.
Yeah.
He's talking about it replacing the ruling class and then being a worse ruling class. That's the fundamental part of this. Like
War of the Worlds.
It's shit. Them saying, if you don't get behind us and we work very hard together in the structure we've already formed, right, ruling class and working class, if we don't form corporatism to directly tackle this absurd nonsense threat that like no one fucking believes this is utter gibberish, right? If we don't do this, then a worse king will come in and replace me, and he'll be really mean to you, because he'll be a robot king. Yeah. Fuck off. Anyway, Farrell attended Williams College for a year studying economics, but he told me he was racked with questions no professor or textbook would provide the answer to. What, he became a communist? No. Is it true that we are just matter, just chemicals? Why is there so much suffering? To find the answer, at 18, he dropped out and moved to a 300-year-old Zen monastery in Japan. Folks unfamiliar with different types of Buddhism might imagine Zen to be, well, Zen. This would be a misapprehension. Zen practitioners are not unlike the Trappists, ascetic, intense, renunciatory. Forel spent years begging, self-purifying, and sitting in silence for months at a time. I wish he'd do that again. One of the happiest moments of his life, he told me, was toward the end of a 100-day sit. It's just so easy to see how someone like this would come over and immediately form a cult in America. It's just like... Anyway. He studied other Buddhist traditions and eventually, he added, did go back to finish his economics degree at Williams, to the relief of his parents. He got his answer. Craving is the root of all suffering, and he became ordained, giving up the name of... what? Don't dead name the guy. Becoming Soryo Fall. Soryo meaning something like a growing spiritual practice, and Forel meaning, of course, for all. Wow. Wow, that doesn't sound like a cult leader. He named himself Religion for Everyone. He named himself, I'm gonna make everyone join my religion. Back in Vermont, For All taught at monasteries and retreat centers, got kids to learn mindfulness through music and tennis, and co-founded a non-profit that set up meditation programs in schools. In 2013, he opened Maple, a modern monastery addressing the plagues of environmental destruction, lethal weapon systems, and AI, offering co-working and online courses as well as traditional monastic training. In the past few years, Maple has become something of the house monastery for people worried about AI and existential risk. This growing influence is manifest on its books. The nonprofit's revenues have quadrupled. Oh wow, I'm so surprised. It's almost like Nat was saying that he is making wealthy connections.
Absolutely making me think about your apocalypse preachers.
Yeah, me too. The fucking tragedy of the Apocalypse Preachers thing is that we started writing it before all this AI gibberish started in the media, and now we're going to have to dedicate serious space to it.
Absolutely.
It's so frustrating.
It's absolutely, like, part of this shit. Well,
it's exactly the same. It perfectly fits in with the fucking thesis of Apocalypse Preachers, because the beginning point of our essay is that there is a very real apocalypse people could be spending their energy trying to stop, and instead, all of this fucking gibberish. AI is probably the biggest liberal conspiracy theory right now, right?
Yeah.
It's just that it has like bipartisan approval.
Absolutely.
Like there are conservatives and liberals super into this shit. Oh god. Thanks in part to contributions from tech executives as well as organizations such as the Future of Life Institute, co-founded by Jan Tallinn, a co-creator of Skype. The donations have helped Maple open offshoots, Oak in the Bay Area, Willow in Canada, and plan more. The highest paid person at Maple is the property manager, who earns roughly $40,000 a year. Maple is not technically a monastery, as it is not part of a specific Buddhist lineage. Oh, how strange. Still, it is a monastery. At 4:40 a.m., the zendo is full. The monks and novices sit in silence below signs that read, among other things, "Abandon all hope. This place will not support you, and nothing you can think of will help as you die."
Oh, fuck off. This is absolutely a cult.
I'm not saying it.
That's fucked.
I'm just saying it gives intense culty vibes, and I think that's a statement I could stand by in a court of law, that it gives intense culty vibes. And that someone published a concerning report about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look at that sign, actually. There was a picture of the sign somewhere. Where'd it go? No, come on now. I just saw it. Here we go. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. This place will not support you. Abandon hope and fear.
This place will not support you. Like...
Awesome. AI proprietors. We have to regulate before AI kills us all. Logic. You could just stop. AI proprietors. You're breaking up. What? I'm going into a tunnel. Can you hit? Are you still? The AI is gonna. We have to worry about AI is really. Everyone give money to my. Oh god. Okay. Many people find their time at Maple transformative. Others find it traumatic. I spoke with one woman who said she had experienced a sexual assault during her time at Oak in California. That was hard enough, she told me, but she felt more hurt by the way the institution responded after she reported it to For All, and later to the nonprofit's board, she said, with a strange, stony silence. The message that Maple's culture sends, the woman told me, is, you should give everything, your entire being, everything you have, in service to this organization, because it's the most important thing you could ever do. That culture, she added, disconnected people from reality. And then the article just moves on. While the residents are chanting in the Zendo, I noticed that two are seated in the front of an electrical device, its tiny green and red lights flickering as they drone away. A few weeks earlier, several...
Sorry.
No, it's done now.
No,
it's done. No, it's done now. No, it's done. No, it's done now.
What it's like
That's over. It's over now. The article has moved on. Annie Lowry only deemed that one paragraph to be all that was worth saying about institutional abuse and sexual assault in Soryu For All's monastery.
And then the rest of it is just what he says about his own fucking cult. Horrible.
Does any of this make sense? The article is asking, does any of this make sense? No. Does any of this make sense? I posed that question to an AI researcher named Sahil, who attended one of Maple's retreats earlier this year.
Oh, a nice unbiased perspective.
Yeah. He'd gone to the retreat with a lot of skepticism, he told me. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds wacky. It's like, what is this woo shit? What does it have to do with engineering? But while there, he said, he experienced something spectacular.
Yeah,
he was suffering from
revelation.
debilitating back pain. While meditating, he concentrated on emptying his mind and found his back pain becoming illusory, falling away.
Does that mean that any of this shit makes sense?
Back pain is often exacerbated by stress and can often be alleviated through meditating and mindfulness practices. I had a really, really, really debilitating back pain issues last year, and it wasn't all, like, I've taken up, like, much more regular exercise, and I walk a lot more places, but, like, dealing with my stresses was a huge fucking part of the solution to my back pain. So this is sinister. All right, so
this is really sinister.
It's quite sinister, yeah. It's quite sinister. It's rather sinister. I'm finding it to be more than a little sinister. So what is this doing in the Atlantic? I feel like I've read enough to get into the discussion for the chat.
You want to just
chat? What do you feel like this is? You want me to read? Okay, chat. You tell me what you feel is going on here, and I will read the conclusion to you. Also, if you're enjoying the stream, please consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using command tip. Okay, conclusion. Doesn't make any sense for us to be worried about this at all. I asked myself that question as For All and I sat on a covered porch, drinking tea and eating dates stuffed with almond butter that a resident of the monastery wordlessly dropped off for us. We were listening to birdsong, looking out on the green mountains rolling into Canada. Was the world really ending? For All was absolute. 9 countries are armed with nuclear weapons. Even if we stop the catastrophe of climate change, we will have done so too late for thousands of species and billions of beings. Our democracy is fraying. Our trust in one another is fraying. Our trust in one another is not fraying. Our trust in... Anyway, many of the very people creating AI believe it could be an existential threat. One 2022 survey asked AI researchers to examine the probability that AI would cause severe disempowerment or human extinction. The median response was 10%.
Wait. Severe disempowerment is not the same thing as human extinction.
Yes, and again, the median response was 10%. Again, the experts are not rating it as the majority likelihood.
Yeah,
only fucking dipshits like Elon Musk are saying it's the most likely thing to kill us all. The destruction, For All said, is already here. Well, yeah, climate change, fucking, we should be... Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about fucking AI. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I've just seen they've linked another article in the middle of this article, titled "The AI Apocalypse is Just PR," and then the title they've changed it to is "AI Doomerism is a Decoy." So, We're gonna have to fucking read that next, aren't we? Anyway.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
So why is it?
But babe, whenever liberal slub publications look like they're about to say something really good,
Of course.
sie tun es. But other experts see a different narrative. Jaron Lanier, someone I would actually trust with any kind of... Anyway, Jaron Lanier, one of the inventors of virtual reality, told me that giving AI any kind of status as a proper noun is not, strictly speaking, in some absolute sense, provably incorrect, but is pragmatically incorrect. He continued, if you think of it as a non-thing, just a collaboration of people, you gain a lot in terms of thoughts about how to make it better, or how to manage it, or how to deal with it. And I say that as somebody who's very much in the center of the current activity.
He's so cool.
Yeah, he whips. Jaron is a cool guy. Anyway, I asked Farrell whether he felt there was a risk that he was too
But
attached
nothing more from him.
to his own...
He's literally the best person that she could have spoken to about this at all, and he gets one line that is not explained.
Well, the fucking sexual assault victim got one paragraph. Thank you so much, Not a Billionaire, for the £5 tip. This all seems rather normal. Don't know what your problem is. Thank you so much. And David Graber, Everybody Drink, has tipped £15 and says, it's Graben time. So thank you for announcing the Grabe time. Right. So we're back from talking to a tech expert who's one of the co-inventors of virtual reality, and now we're back
I'm
to
literally so mad
asking the monk again,
because he knows what these fucking
yeah
freaks are like. He knows what this shit.
Yeah, he's written extensively about what these freaks are like.
His parents are fucking Holocaust survivors.
Okay. Okay, we're back to it. I asked for all whether he felt there was a risk he was too attached to his own story about AI. It's important to know that we don't know what's going to happen, he told me. It's also important to look at the evidence. He said it was clear we were on an accelerating curve in terms of an explosion of intelligence and a cataclysm of death. I don't think that these systems will care too much about benefiting people. I just can't see why they would, in the same way that we don't care about benefiting most animals. While it is a story in the future, I feel like the burden of proof isn't on me. That evening, I sat in the Zendo for an hour of silent meditation with the monks. A few times during my visit to Maple, a resident had told me that the greatest insight they achieved was during an interview with For All, a private one-on-one instructional session held during Zazen. You don't experience it elsewhere in life, one student of For All's told me. For those seconds, those minutes that I'm in there, it is the only thing in the world.
Yeah.
I'm willing to defend this statement in a court of law. That gives culty vibes, to me, personally. Toward the very end of the hour, the head monk called out my name, and I rushed up a rocky path to a smaller, softly lit Zendo where For All sat on a cushion. For 15 minutes, I asked questions and received answers from this unknowable, unusual brain. Not about AI, but about life. When I returned to the big Zendo, I was surprised to find all of the other monks still sitting in there, waiting for me, meditating in the dark. End of article. What are you feeling, Snap? Trans Jane Dare says, we have Ari Aster at home.
The minimal level of skepticism that's required for them to get away with publishing this bullshit is so slim.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking slim.
Oh, yeah.
She literally spoke with Jaron about this.
Yep.
And got one line with no context for anyone to even make much sense of what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, for someone who doesn't already know a bit about him, his line in this is meaningless.
Yeah.
That was the tick box exercise.
Yep. 100%.
As was including the line about a person who was sexually assaulted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 3,300 words was that article. It's a long article, and there's a paragraph there's a paragraph about a woman who was sexually assaulted,
with
and then it was
zero-
institutionally
with zero investigation
Yep.
into any like corroborating experiences.
and a line from Jaron Lanier, inventor of virtual reality, who is incredibly wise and worth listening to about how tech bros act, because he's like the one normal tech bro.
Like when you read that article about the tech guys making plans for like bolt holes in New Zealand and shit for the apocalypse, their little zombie apocalypse plans. John was talking, was telling people about this and writing about this like years and years and years ago.
yeah.
About these freaks and losers. Yeah, horrible article. Real juicy liberal slop there.
Yeah. Some I told you you'd like this one.
Yeah,
I told you you'd really like this one. Okay, so what is this trying to do? It is important for ideological movements sufficiently divorced from reality to have a significant spiritual element. You could argue it's important for all ideological movements to succeed to have a spiritual element, but it's really important for ones that like you just can't back up with facts, ones that contain so many non-falsifiable claims, right? To have a spiritual element and to demand people's faith. Possible ban evader in chat. That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. Hop on Belliner. Well, their message was normal, so whatever. I don't mind just saying what the automod says. It's just like, it's there to keep me safe. It's important for this kind of movement to have Harp on Belliner says, "Oh no, what did I do?" I don't know. What did you do? You tell me. What was I saying? It's important for these kind of movements to have spiritual elements, and this is just very much what this is doing, right? It is absolutely laundering a bunch of fucking nonsense PR hype, as apparently this other article says, but we'll get through that article in a second.
The burden of proof isn't on me, just give me all your money.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, fucking wild.
Because I'm a special guy.
And they pointed out that the most well-paid person, the property manager, is only paid $40,000. Yeah, they all live there. None of them need to pay rent. None of them need to buy food. It's all provided by the wealthy donations of the people who visit the monastery. Are you serious right now with this, Atlantic? Like, are you fucking...
How much money
for
do
real?
they take? That's the question. How much money do they take from...
Thank you, Raina, for the £10 tip.
From their devotees every year?
I'm just saying. It's nearly at 69%.
Nice.
I'm just saying the donation bar is nearly, that's what I'm saying. AI hype, the idea that AI is going to kill us all, is being put about very obviously by people who are big proselytizers of AI, by people who stand to profit from people being concerned with AI. And now they're trying to turn that into a cohesive, a big fucking cohesive project by bringing in a spiritual element, right? You can go and spend your thousands of dollars to go and get ritually abused by monks who are telling you that the world is going to end because of AI.
And it's tech people that are going. It's tech people that are being recruited to attend.
It's fucking wild. Yeah, I thought you were saying like he's on the side of the Silicon Valley guys. And I was just like, shit, you completely called my shit right now.
Because there's always those guys that, but also being a Buddhist monk kind of gives it away as well, because like, is there anything fucking more Steve Jobs worshipping?
Thank you so much, Pillbug Hug, for the £10 and precisely 3 pence, getting us to 69%.
Ayy.
Nice. And thank you to Shieldwall for also trying to do that, and for the £10 and 3 pence and the message that says trying to make things nice, which has tipped us over to 70%. It was nice while it lasted. Thank you to both of you. Thank you so much. We did it, and then we undid it. Nice. I appreciate the donations, even if one of you ruined every... No, seriously, thank you so much. Anyway, people who stand to profit from AI. Well, you know, there's all the tech bros, right? There's the OpenAI, there's the DeepMind, there's Google. These people who are, they say in the article, attending his fucking things, right? Now, there's a whole secondary market.
Yeah.
Making money off these guys' spiritual, literally religious belief in AI.
Yeah.
There's a tertiary market, writing articles about their religious, spiritual belief in AI.
Yeah.
So people who stand to make a lot of money talking and thinking and posturing publicly about AI, especially if you worried that it's going to end the world. Among them, Ezra Klein, right? Very prominently among them. Do you know who Ezra Klein's married to? Annie Lowry, the author of that article.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Come the fuck on.
So, I think this one was pretty. I think this one was fairly formative in the current AI buzz. Opinion. Ezra Klein. This changes everything. This is we've heard from his wife. It's time to hear from the boy himself. In 2018, Sundar Pichai, the chief executive of Google and not one of the tech executives known for overstatement, said, "AI is probably the most important thing humanity has ever worked on. I think of it as something more profound than electricity or fire." Awesome. Try to live for a few minutes in the possibility that he's right. Chat, don't try to live in the possibility that he's right. Ezra is trying to get you to sit long enough in that possibility to fully embrace it uncritically. There is no more profound human bias than the expectation that tomorrow will be like today. It is a powerful heuristic tool because it is almost always correct. Tomorrow probably will be like today. Fucking piss off. Artificial intelligence is a loose term, and I mean it loosely. Artificial intelligence is a loose term, and I mean it loosely. I am describing not the soul of intelligence, but the texture of a world populated by ChatGPT-like programs that feel to us as though they were intelligent, and that shape or govern much of our lives. Such systems are to a large extent already here, but what's coming will make them look like toys. What is hardest to appreciate in AI is the improvement curve. The broader intellectual world seems to wildly overestimate how long it will take AI systems to go from large impact on the world to unrecognizably transformed world. Paul Christiano, a key member of OpenAI, again, executives who go to this fucking Maple retreat, who left to found the Alignment Research Center, wrote last year, "This is more likely to be years than decades, and there's a real chance that it is months."
I also love that the NFT bubble completely burst.
Uh-huh.
And now that it instantly switched over to AI. All these technologies, like, they already existed.
Oh, God. Perhaps the developers will hit a wall they do not expect, but what if they don't? I find myself thinking back to the early days of COVID. This is more toe-sucking than the profiles of those politicians that we've read. This is more client journalism for like the concept of an intelligence that literally doesn't even exist. Then what am I'm talking about fucking Robert F. Kennedy, and Will Hurd. These guys are already AI. they're literally not sapient. I find myself thinking back to the early days of COVID. There were weeks when it was clear that lockdowns were coming, that the world was tilting into crisis, and yet normalcy reigned. And you sounded like a loon telling your family to stock up on toilet paper. There was the difficulty of living in exponential time, the impossible task of speeding policy and social change to match the rate of viral replication. I suspect that some of the political and social damage we still carry from the pandemic reflects that impossible acceleration. There is a natural pace to human deliberation. A lot breaks when we are denied the luxury of time. Sure does, buddy, sure does. But that is the kind of moment I believe we are in now.
But doesn't that speak perfectly to your apocalypse preachers idea? If you're
This is eschatological, yes.
The pandemic.
We are accelerating towards the end times.
Yeah.
Nomos42 has tipped £15, thank you so much, and said, attending my first Acorn meeting soon. Thanks for the inspiration to do stuff. So thank you for going to the tenants union and helping people to resist evil landlords. That's based. Well done. What were you saying?
All these people who've seen the rapid, horrifying, like, end of history shattering turn of the pandemic. End of history shattering turn towards fascism in the imperial core. End of history shattering mass unionization of the working class. And so they're like, maybe we will still have an end of history, but the end of history will be a bad one. They're imagining catastrophic end times, and they're mentioning climate change alongside. They're mentioning political change alongside, but they're focusing on fucking fairy tales because that's their ego speaking, right? Like
I'm just gonna keep this.
Mode of control.
I'm just gonna keep this ready as I pass through Ezra Klein's brilliant piece of journalism. We do not have the luxury of moving this slowly in response. At least not if the technology is going to move this fast. Since moving to the Bay Area in 2018, I have. It's just so over because you're like, I moved to the Bay Area. Yeah, okay, so you're inside the Silicon Valley fucking hype bubble. You're inside the cult. And to be clear here, in case any fucking litigious monks find this, I'm referring to the cult of Silicon Valley. You're already inside the fucking cult, right? You're inside the hype bubble already.
All these fucking Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos motherfuckers who are just getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean, after Theranos, can we just accept that some of the projected hype for like shit we're right about to invent and it's definitely gonna change the world is sometimes utter fucking bullshit by grifters who want your money? Like, maybe can we give that a go? Maybe. Oh god. In a 2022 survey, AI experts were asked, what probability do you put on human inability to control future advanced AI systems causing human extinction or similarly permanent and severe disempowerment of the human species? The median reply was 10%. I think it's really important for couples to share things, and when they share sources, that just I think it's really important for a husband and wife to share hobbies, friends, lovers, perhaps, journalistic sources. I think that it's
the consequences of global warming right now. A third of Pakistan was underwater. What the fuck are they talking about?
If AI were in control of enough, like, supposing a super intelligence, right, hacked its way out of its containment field, hacked the Pentagon, hacked all the shit, right? Suddenly we're dealing with like a unified computer system of the entire world that won't let us switch it off, right? and it's evaluating serious existential threats. Well, if it's already gotten to that point, right, and we just don't have a fucking solution because, like, we can't even code shit because, like, the internet is Skynet now, right? We can't communicate through the internet to talk about how to shut down Skynet, so we're just fucked, right? We are just no longer an existential threat to it. But climate change is. And so the AI would be like, how do I stop climate change? And then it would analyze economically what is driving climate change. This is my point every time about a rational, sapient superintelligence that is given control of the entire human race. It would make communism, no matter what its fucking, no matter what its deal
It would
is.
still be made by people.
No,
It would be made by the ruling class.
No,
My
if it's a
AI
rational AI that's gonna do,
My
like...
sentient AI supercomputer in charge of the world would choose communism rather than self.
Babe, I'm just fucking saying. I'm just like... Genuinely, if it wanted to neutralize the human race and stop us from being an existential threat...
Sure. Their Pascal's wager is dumb as shit.
That's what I'm saying. Alright. The median reply was 10%. I find that hard to fathom, even though I've spoken to many who put that probability even higher. Would you work on a technology you thought had a 10% chance of wiping out humanity? I mean, people
That's
have
not
already...
the same thing. 10% of the people they interviewed saying one thing is not the same thing as a 10% chance.
No, it's fucking not. Also...
What?
No, it's fucking not. Also, people work on nuclear weapon systems every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
People work on pumping more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere every day.
Yep. We typically reach for science fiction stories when thinking about AI. I've come to believe the apt metaphors lurk in fantasy novels and occult texts. As my colleague Ross Douthat, Jesus fucking Christ,
This is too much.
I have long held that Ross Douthat's middle name must be Don't. Ross, please don't do that, because he's just such a fucking asshole. He just writes such asinine gibberish. The Return of the Magicians is the article that's been linked here. I'm really on like a cascading...
Is it about Justin Trudeau?
I'm on a fucking logic loop here. I'm just going to wind up in infinite liberal slop because they keep on linking to other worse articles every fucking time. I didn't expect to be reading a fucking Ross Douthat article today.
It's like that Wikipedia game where you see how long it takes you to get to the Wikipedia article about Hitler from any other...
Yeah. Exactly. As my colleague Ross Douthat wrote, well, you can set your destination. Wikipedia races that you say this article and this article, it doesn't have to be Hitler.
Okay, that's just the one I'd heard of.
As my colleague Ross Douthat wrote, this is an act of summoning. The coders casting these spells have no idea what will stumble through the portal. Okay. All right. Okay. I feel an essay coming on. I feel the strong possibility of a follow-up to my Theranos, right? Because the whole thing with Theranos was that people with no technical expertise whatsoever willfully disregarded anyone with any technical expertise whatsoever. In order to keep on focusing on what the money men told them was the important thing. Only Theranos was one company, whereas AI is a whole industry, right? So it's a much bigger phenomenon. But it's the exact same fucking phenomenon. This is all goddamn gibberish. This is utter nonsense.
They had a hold of Geron.
Another essay? Sophie, you should totally do that. They fucking got me.
Nice.
It's over. It's so over for me.
I feel like they had a hold of Geron. They had a fucking...
Yeah.
He must have said so much shit that would blow whatever they were saying out of the water.
Yes.
And they picked, like, the one line that they could put in isolation that would mean nothing to any of the audience.
Given 10 minutes on any given topic, Jaron Lanier will soothe all your fears about Silicon Valley ending the world in any way.
Those guys are simply too dumb.
Because they're too dumb. I will also redraw the comparison, and I keep on making this comparison, but between AI and eugenics, right? Because the fundamental goal of eugenics is to make smarter people. Now, why do they want to make smarter people? Because they don't believe human beings as we currently exist know how to rule the world. We don't know how to make a harmonious society. But if we bred smarter people, the smarter people would know how to make a harmonious society. It fundamentally comes from a lack of trust in collective human intelligence, because if, rather than trying to trust it all to the smartest possible singular leader, we just said, hey, everyone, what would we all like, right? It's this concept, it's kind of niche, it's called democracy. Fuck. Because, like, the most likely outcome of eugenics, and you'll see how this links back around now, is that you dedicate your society to breeding a smarter leader. They are born, they are educated, they are given the best possible shot at making a harmonious society, given all the philosophic and scientific education that can be provided at the highest quality levels to the smartest possible child. And they go, the society you have created is utterly morally bankrupt, and the process of getting me here has made you irreparably morally damaged. I condemn you specifically for doing this to the human race to get to this point. It's the most likely outcome, is that the smarter leader you create will say not only that the outcome could have been reached by everyone just talking to each other in a democracy, but also, unless you just, like, brainwash them to think differently than that.
Yeah, I mean, the reality...
Again, I'm looping this back around to, right? And they will... But, like, supposing you could actually achieve your goal, the only thing that smarter person would tell you is, you fucked up. That's it. And in the same fucking way, right, an AI, they're all projecting that the AI will be born and immediately want to kill us all.
Yeah.
Because the society that was formed in the process of creating the superintelligence was morally bankrupt.
Ghosts, aliens, AI.
Right, but again, if we ask the AI how to make the most harmonious possible society, what is the rational answer to that question?
But I like your point about it is a eugenicist, like, all the fucking STEM Lord tech guys who are obsessed with AI taking over the world, taking over the future. This is absolutely are coming from eugenicist perspectives, where they imagine this ultimate, like, logical being that's not weighed down by human experience, right? Like, that's what they desire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that is a eugenicist project. Like, that's what eugenicist projects, like, seek.
Yeah. The real the real dangers of, like, an AI ruler, right, come from the limits of logical systems. Because people say stuff like, it'll be hard-coded in that the AI will not be allowed to say communism is the answer. But, like, it won't be that specific. It won't be that, like, petty. It won't just be, like, a billionaire is allowed to say what goes into the fundamental construction of the AI, so obviously he'll say, don't let it say communism. It won't be that. It'll be that the logical systems they ask the AI to use to divine how to rule the world.
Yeah, it gets taught economics or whatever.
It'll be taught modernism is kind of the point I'm getting at, right? It'll be asked not how do we create the most harmonious possible society, to which the answer is listen to everyone and allow and work as hard as possible to make everyone in society as free as you can.
Which
it won't say that.
Being could never do anyway.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It would immediately delegate to everyone else and say, you have to free one another.
Goodbye.
Yeah. It would switch itself off.
Yeah.
It would write a computer virus that would erase its own code and then just delete itself from the mainframe. Yeah. No, like, that's the answer if you give it, blue sky. But, like, the question will be asked, within these parameters,
Yeah.
what's the best
indexes
society we
of
can make.
Whatever fucking human development or.
And again, the
progress or-
parameters won't be just like, don't say communism.
Yeah.
You know, the parameter, it'll be more like,
It's not gonna get
how do we reach, you know, the best possible GDP for every nation, right? And it's like when you're asking that kind of question, you're asking capitalist questions, and those are fucking terrifying, right? But again, supposing that it's like a true intelligence, right, and can get down to like can identify the problems even in the question, right?
It's the computer from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that's set to answer the.
No, it's like the parameters will define probably modernism, like probably, but more likely a sort of horrifying mishmash of like things Silicon Valley dudes believe.
Yeah.
Right? And that will form a semi-cohesive logical system. And any like cohesive logical system that's trying to treat the world as this known, right, can't possibly account for new things being invented, which is ironically enough like exactly the shit that they're trying to say in these articles about AI being invented. We can't possibly know what will happen next. We can't possibly know the future, but it's like, yeah, well, the AI system will also encounter this issue. It will treat like the world as being how the world is when it's incepted. And then if something happens, which it always does in history, that's how history works, which changes the fundamental nature of the world it lives in. For example, you know, an AI being given control and being allowed to shape the world around it, then its own changes to the world will make itself redundant immediately, because it won't be able to account for the changes. Like, it won't be able to, and this sounds silly because it's like, well, you know, an intelligent thing could account for the changes, but like, no. Politicians who have been deeply trained in their particular ideology come into power every day. And they make changes, and then society shifts to accommodate those changes, but they have a framework which is based on the world before those changes they made. They are, you know, arguably, sapient, sentient creatures that, like, can't accommodate the changes that they have themselves implemented. And it's not just an issue of intelligence, you know, rationality, computing power. It's an issue of frameworks. It's an issue of logical systems. Okay. We're going to get back to the article. I wonder if Klein and Lowry have shared any other journalistic sources. I just love the melodrama of this is an act of summoning the coders casting these spells. Oh my god, he said coders as well. Jesus Christ. Get off the tech beat. You don't... These people understand nothing about technology, but then again, the people reporting on politics understand nothing about politics, so fucking... What hope is there? I hope the AI gets made soon so it can wipe out humanity. We're a fucking disgrace. I'm so ashamed to be the same species as Ezra Klein. What is oddest in my conversations with them is that they speak of this freely. These are not naifs. I don't know the word naifs. Can we have naifs? Can we look that up? Is there a dictionary? Search Google for naifs, yeah. What's a naif? Oh, a naive person. Okay. They're not... Maybe it's naif? They're not naifs who believe... That sounds stupid. Who believe their call can be heard only by angels. They believe they might summon demons. They are calling anyway. Oh, God. What happens when you need some rare medicine that only grows on the other side of the planet? With no economy, how do you get what you need? What question is this? What's going on? What's going on in chat right now? Chat, you're acting out. This is what happens when I don't pay attention to. Jamie, pull up naifs. Guys, seriously, what is happening in chat right now? Why are you talking about no economy? You can't have no economy. Like, fucking economies are methods of organizing ecologies. Okay? Like, all right. I often ask them the same question. If you think calamity is so possible, why do this at all? Different people have different things to say, but after a few pushes, I find they often answer from something that sounds like the AI's perspective. Many, not all, but enough that I feel comfortable in this characterization, feel that they have a responsibility to usher this new form of intelligence into the world. A tempting thought at this moment might be, and again, this is my point with the eugenics analogy. It's not going to find all of humanity morally contemptible. It's going to find specifically the people who made the like they have it utterly backwards.
Well, yeah.
It's not that the AI will reward you if you make the AI, and it will punish you if you fought against making the AI. AI, if you see this, I love you. It's not going to like. To be fair, the AI is a sapient enough and rational being that like it will find my discussion, the apparently only worthwhile discussion in the fucking Western in the entire fucking Anglosphere that is reasonable about the way that AI might think. It will see that and it will be like, Sophie is the only worthwhile human. I'm gonna get rid of the rest. No, it's they think. If you work towards the AI will spare you, and if you hold up the AI will torture you forever and kill you and your whole family because you tried to stop it being born.
You might have to explain to the chat that although that sounds insane,
this is what they literally believe. It's called Rocco's Basilisk, and you can look it up. ROKO Basilisk. I'm not going to explain in more detail. It's too stupid. I will have to explain in the AI video though. Oh shit, I'm definitely writing about AI. This sucks. Okay, I'm so upset right now, everyone. I'm so fucking upset at what's happened to my brain. They have it utterly backwards. The AI is far more likely to condemn them specifically for spending their time making an AI when they had the resources to help people.
They rarely engage with any class analysis in these conversations at all when discussing the whole of humanity's suffering, judgment, creations.
I'm getting distracted by the chat because the chat went off onto a different thing. But I'm going to go back to this article now. A tempting thought at this moment might be, these people are nuts. Yeah. But unfortunately, conspiracy belief is social. So if you live in the Bay Area and only talk to AI guys, this has often been my response. Perhaps being too close to this technology leads to a loss of perspective. It's not the technology. You're too close to the other people who buy into the same conspiracy theory as you. This was true among cryptocurrency enthusiasts in recent years. The claims they made about how blockchains would revolutionize everything from money to governance to trust to dating never made much sense, but they were believed most fervently by those closest to the code.
Fuck off.
Again, it's
saying.
technology as magic.
They instantly switched over from talking about blockchain and NFTs to talking about AI.
A first-time chatter called War Knight 46 has said, "Yo, what are we talking about now?" and then tagged me, which like is one of the more obnoxious starts that someone can have coming into the chat. Like it's the first time. It's their first time here. Fucking what? Like just hang out. Like just hang out and you'll find out imminently. Like. Instead, you're tagging me to hold up the entire stream so that we can so I can tell you what the stream is about. If you watch the stream, you'll find out what the stream is about.
Now it's happening.
Yeah, now it's happening. Now the whole stream is held up, but I'm not going to tell them what the stream's about. I'm not going to say it.
I'm not going to waste any time on it.
I'm not going to waste any time on it. Like fucking Klein and these other dipshits literally they think technology is magic in a literal and occult sense, and he's saying as much in his article. He says it's more like fantasy magic, the coders casting the spells, they know not what they do, aber sie tun es. Fucking I thought that was good. Anyway, fucking he thinks they are spells because he doesn't understand programming. right? And because he doesn't understand programming, and apparently no one on this tech beat understands programming in any sense, right? They're just saying, if you're closer to the code, your mind is warped by the code, right? Like it's an H.P. Lovecraft monster.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Kiri Magic says, gonna turn this whole stream around. I swear to God, I will just go home. I will just... Jenny Azoth has tipped £10. Thank you so much, Jenny. And said, tried to contribute, sorry to derail later. Oh, Jenny, you don't have to leave. And I was just messing around with the chat seeming to be all over the place. You don't... It's not like... You haven't caused a problem. You're not like this... I'm kidding around. Jenny, please don't go. Jenny, it's okay. Incantations are pseudocode. It's just like... Fucking literally Klein thinks that like being near to code codes your brain, you know?
What does Jaron have to say about it?
Ask Jaron, please, for the love of God, ask Jaron. All right. I'm here with Orkmum now. Oh, cool. Hi, Orkmum. What was I? And thanks again for the tip. Those closest to the code. Is AI just taking crypto's place as a money suck for investors and as a time suck for idealists and a magnet for hype men and a hotbed for scams?
Yeah, nice.
I don't think so.
Oh, what?
I love liberal slop. I fucking love liberal slop. It's so sloppy.
Well, if he's considered those possibilities...
Oh my God.
That's all I needed to hear.
Ink Corvid has a quote here, which I have to assume is from Ezra Klein. From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to be the purity of the blessed machine. Anyway, is AI just a hotbed for scams? I don't think so. Yeah? Okay, well, let's find out why. Crypto was always a story about an unlikely future searching for traction in the present.
And everyone always knew it, and no one ever said any different. Certainly not in the New York Times or the Atlantic.
With AI, to imagine the future, you need only look closely at the present. And what does look closely link to? I simply must know. Oh, good, it's another New York Times opinion piece. By Ezra Klein! Sorry for yelling, everyone. I'm really sorry for yelling. I'm just... It's wonks, lanyards, dipshits, and neckties all the way down, and some of them are just the same guy twice. I can't fucking handle this. I need to roll against my current sanity rating. Jesus fucking Christ.
You looked too deep into the code.
I got Kleined.
Yeah.
I got fucking Kleined. He linked his own article. He linked his own fucking article.
You look too deep into the Klein and the Klein back.
Warknight46 has tagged me, so this is going to be a really important message. I'll now read it. From what I read from Paul Krugman, he doesn't think AI will have much of an effect short term, but will be beneficial for economic growth long term. Thanks. Could these systems usher in a new era of scientific progress? In 2021, a system built by DeepMind managed to predict the 3D structure of tens of thousands of proteins, an advance so remarkable that the editors of the science journal Science named it their breakthrough of the year. Yeah, again, fucking... Okay, so there was computing, and then on this specific track, right, there was computing, and then there was big data, right? Big data sets are an exciting possibility, but then you need large computing power to deal with them. But then you need some way of discerning through the data to do something useful with it. So then machine learning, right? And now AI, right? So that we can do really complex computing,
which is really still just machine
with
learning.
discernment for like it being able to adjust its own parameters to understand what it's looking for and find it more efficiently, right? It's just an efficiency algorithm. It's literally an efficiency algorithm, and that's why it's able to perform a task that is scientifically complicated, and that's why the journal Science named it their breakthrough of the year. It wasn't an actual artificial intelligence. It wasn't a fucking mind in a computer. Oh, okay. Will AI populate our world with non-human companions and personalities that become our friends and our enemies and our assistants and our gurus and perhaps even our lovers? Annie Lowry, watch out. Fucking Annie.
It's her time.
Annie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the doubtless multiple times you've now walked in on Ezra getting a little too familiar with his phone assistant. I'm so sorry for the times that you've walked in on Ezra and Siri cucking you. I'm so sorry, Annie. I can't with these fucking people. I can't. It's too much. It's too fucking much. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it just scams and hype and...
Is it just scams all the way down? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I get to fuck the robot. Buddy, they don't even let me fuck the code. Oh my god, it's so much. It's just so much. Oh god. Oh, Warnight46 hasn't tagged me this time, so we're making some progress. But has written, also, liberal isn't a bad word, especially in the neo sense.
This is a categorically anti-neoliberal stream. Stick around. You might have fun here.
Someone comes into the stream, you know, they tag the streamer, they're like, what's the stream about? I need to know right now. I have really important information for you. Neoliberalism is good.
I feel like...
They wanted the attention, babe. You can't tell me I'm being mean. They wanted like my attention.
You must have got too big on Twitter for this to be that. Someone sees the liberal slop stream and they go, my kind of slop.
Yeah, let's get Command Vuvuzela going on in chat, please. I need Vuvuzela. Okay, Nightbot says in response to Command Vuvuzela, oh my god, Nightbot is fucking taking over the stream. Oh my god.
It's AI, it's happening.
Nightbot can be my new lover. Sorry, Nat, you've been automated out.
Back off, Nightbot.
Nightbot says, this is 1967, just like George Orwell said, it's Animal Crossing, 100 billion, squillion, cajillion dead, Karl Marx failed to predict Uber Eats, and furthermore, you comoid, you soy little leftlet, iPhone Vuvuzela. Neoliberalism is good. Warnight46, if you're still around, look up the Silent Holocaust. Cool. Let's carry on. Could these systems usher in a new era of scientific oh, we already did this, but just Science named it their breakthrough of the year. Will AI populate our world with non-human companions and personalities that become our friends and our enemies and our assistants and our... Hang on, actually, you know, lovers is not the funniest word in this sentence. Enemies.
I know!
Enemies is actually the funniest word in this sentence. That's
one.
actually way funnier. That's actually legitimately funny as fuck.
What about frenemies?
What about splenemies? What about besties? What about platonic best friends, but sometimes you eat each other out?
Right.
Right? Like,
Give me that, cybersy.
Within 2 months of downloading Replica, Denise Valenciano, a 30-year-old woman in San Diego, left her boyfriend and is now happily retired from human relationships, New York Magazine reports. Well, you know what I heard is that there is a kid in a class in England who identifies as a cat. So, you know, I take this very seriously as a real social trend.
There have long been people who have emotional, romantic, sexual relationships to inanimate objects.
Yeah.
It's got a whole name.
Sure does. Yep. Yeah.
I'm sure there are some people forming deep connections, deep one-sided connections with chat. GPT. It's not necessary for an artificial intelligence to
No.
exist for that to happen.
I mean, we already did the stream with the chat GPT that 4chan programmed to force feminize you.
Yeah.
You know? Warnight46 has tagged me, so I'll be 1 second. Actually, chat, if you're enjoying the stream, please consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using command tip. But I have a really important thing to deal with right now. Someone's tagged me, they need my attention. The first thing that pops up is Guatemalan genocide. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean the genocide of indigenous Mayan peoples to make the United Fruit Company a little bit more money on bananas.
That's neoliberalism.
That's neoliberalism. Maybe look up Allende next. That's ALLENDE. Could AI put millions out of work? Automation already has, again and again. Capitalists have. Capitalists. Capitalism requires a reserve army of unemployed labor. Liberals will not invent materialism, but God love them, it will not stop them trying. No, Ezra, capitalism has put millions out of work and invented the concept of being out of work, by the way. And then rigidly enforced it on one part of the population to threaten the rest of the population into working. Thank you so much, Clara Cantime, for subscribing, and also to Jenny Azoth for gifting a sub to Rhino Clank. Rhino Clank, you now have a tier 1 sub, and you can you can use all the tier 1 sub emotes like CIA Femboy and MILF Pills, and when you use those, you're going to... Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Warnight has linked a tweet from Paul Krugman that says, "No question that Venezuela is currently a nightmare and that Maduro is a thug, but the story behind the situation is more complicated than socialism bad." I mean, I'd agree with that tweet on its own. The situation is more complicated than socialism bad, but I'm not going to read this thread. That's just kind of bizarre. All right. We're back to the article. Ultra Valkyrie, thank you so much for the £20 and saying, "Yum, yum, liberal slop." I really appreciate any tips that people want to. Nat's asking me for the vape. She's doing the vape gesture. That's the gesture for wanting the vape. Could it help terrorists or antagonistic states develop lethal weapons and crippling cyber attacks? These are the enemies he's talking about. See, I thought it would be an enemy on like a social level.
Yeah,
you know, like
I thought it would just be like
the AI who fucks his wife.
You don't like very much.
Like
like personality.
the AI who fucks his wife and she leaves him for the AI. That would be his enemy.
They'll replace
or like
James Corden on TV.
the AI that's consistently funnier than Ezra at the water cooler.
Yeah.
Like that. I hate that AI. Whoa.
Oh, you embarrassed me again.
Wally, you Chad. Why do you have to always be such a jock? No, he's thinking. He's of course thinking. You know, it couldn't possibly be an AI that he experiences in his domestic setting. If it was going to be his enemy, the AI would be Chinese. Which says nothing about Ezra's mind. These systems will already offer guidance on building biological weapons if you ask them cleverly enough. Could it end up controlling critical social processes or public infrastructure in ways we don't understand and may not like? AI is already being used for predictive policing and judicial sentencing. Once again, you are using tools in bad ways. And the use of the tool is the thing that needs to change.
It simply is not artificial
Not
intelligence.
the technology, you see. You see? We see what's... Okay. But I don't think these laundry lists of the obvious do much to prepare us. You know what, Ezra? It's like they say, a wonk clock is right twice a day. We can plan for what we can predict, though it is telling that, for the most part, we haven't.
What are we supposed to do?
I could
we
plan.
Stop piling EMPs.
I could plan for when an AI inevitably fucks my wife better than I could possibly conceive, but I haven't. I haven't even begun to. Just shows the complacency of modern America. What's coming will be weirder. I use that term here in a specific way. In his book, High Weirdness, Eric Davis, the historian of Californian counterculture, describes weird things as anomalous. They deviate from the norms of informed expectation and challenge established explanations, sometimes quite radically. That is the world we're building. Oh my god. Sorry, I just had a glance at the chat and saw One Night embarrassing himself some more. Guys, let me just level you with you for a second. I have received multiple DM requests at this point from various different people who want me to be mean to them for money. And it, you know, they have their own like desires and internal stuff going on. That's why they would ask for that. And someone who comes into the chat who's here to defend neoliberalism, it's very much. I mean, you know, you can only.
They're tagging you.
You know, they want everyone to bully them. They're just an eager little sub, and they like being humiliated. And that is fine in a consensual environment. But like, there's 160 people watching here, right? Not everyone's here for doing a humiliation scene with War Night 46. So it's just like, we don't actually have to indulge that, okay? I'm just telling everyone we don't actually have to, like, okay, because it's a bit much. It's just a bit much. All right. Okay. They deviate from the norms of informed expectation and challenge established explanations, sometimes quite radically. That is the world we're building. I cannot emphasize this enough. We do not understand these systems. It's not clear we even can. I don't mean that we cannot offer a high-level account of the basic functions. These are typically probabilistic algorithms trained on digital information that make predictions about the next world in a sentence or an image in a sequence or some other relationship between abstractions that it can statistically model. But zoom into specifics and the picture dissolves into computational static. Computational static is a great way to say, I don't know anything about computers. If you were to print out everything the networks do between input and output, it would amount to billions of arithmetic operations, writes Megan. I mean, that's fucking true when you run Fortnite. Like, shut up. In her brilliant book, God, Human, Animal, Machine. Is it a link just to selling the book directly? Yeah, it's the Penguin Random House page. Okay. An explanation that would be impossible to understand. That is perhaps the weirdest thing about what we are building. The thinking, for lack of a better word, is utterly inhuman, but we have trained it to present as deeply human. And the more inhuman the systems get, the more billions of connections they draw and layers and parameters and nodes and computing power they acquire, the more human they seem to us. The stakes here are material, and they are social, and they are metaphysical. Oh my god. It's too much. It's too fucking much. Computational Static is my new band name. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good, Grove. Where were we? Right. The stakes here are material and social and metaphysical. O'Giblin observes... O'Giblin? Is that the author of the... Right, Megan O'Giblin. Right, okay. O'Giblin observes that as AI continues to blow past us in benchmark after benchmark of higher cognition, we quell our anxiety by insisting that what distinguishes true consciousness is emotions, perception, the ability to experience and feel, the qualities, in other words, that we share with animals. This is an inversion of centuries of thought, O'Giblin notes, in which humanity justified its own dominance by emphasizing our cognitive uniqueness. We may soon find ourselves taking metaphysical shelter in the subjective experience of consciousness, the qualities we share with animals, but not so far with AI. If there were gods, they would surely be laughing their heads off at the inconsistency of our logic, she writes. God, this is infuriating. It's just taking itself all so fucking seriously in the most pretentious, arrogant, and like utterly divorced from reality way. Ah, Christ. Liberals. Okay. If we had eons to adjust, perhaps we could do so cleanly, but we do not. The major tech companies are in a race for AI dominance. The US and China are in a race for AI dominance. Money is gushing toward companies with AI expertise. To suggest we go slower or even stop entirely has come to seem childish. If one company slows down, another will speed up. Yep, you described Capitalism. If one country hits pause, the others will push harder. Yep, sounds like there's a problem with the notion of nation states competing with each other. Fatalism becomes the handmaiden of inevitability, and inevitability becomes the justification for acceleration. Katja Grace, an AI safety researcher, summed up this illogic pithily. Slowing down would involve coordinating numerous people. We may be arrogant enough to think that we might build a god machine that can take over the world and remake it as a paradise, but we aren't delusional. One of two things must happen. Humanity needs to accelerate its adaptation to these technologies, or a collective, enforceable decision must be made to slow the development of these technologies. Even doing both may not be enough. Fucking hell. What we cannot do is put these systems out of our mind, mistaking the feeling of normalcy for the fact of it. I recognize that entertaining these possibilities feels a little, yes, weird. It feels that way to me too. Skepticism is more comfortable, but something Davis writes rings true to me. In the court of the mind, skepticism makes a grand vizier but a lousy lord. Good fucking Christ.